Hi, everybody.
Putting on the Ritz.
I was trying to do the Bulls entrance.
Yeah, you did a bad job.
There's a lot of noises there. You can only make one.
Okay. Okay.
Hold on. I gotta do the thing. Not that it ever helps,
No, it does not.
but hey, you know.
Hey, if you're in here, go buy some merch.
Oh yeah, are we pimping that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was MIA, but you guys added a lot of crap, huh?
Yeah.
I liked your shorts idea. The shorts you have are a little aggressive, but I kind of like the
That was my idea.
Was that yours? I was
No,
driving.
booty shorts.
I was driving
Those
and looking at your guys'
Couldn't be
text.
any worse.
I love them, but I like your idea of just the logo like on the leggy.
What
Yeah.
do you mean they couldn't be worse? They're perfect.
It could be worse.
They are horrible.
Imagine all the boys, dude, around the campfire at Pocono wearing those bad boys.
Just showing off your butts. Woo. What up, Tyler? How we doing? Okay. I think I am good.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Macarena. What's Donnie sound like again?
No,
Do it.
I'm not your slave.
You're dumb. Everything you've said so far has been dumb. That Donnie?
Wrong Donnie, not your boy.
Oh.
You ready, Dan?
No!
What's
I will
he
be
doing?
Hello, Justin Smith,
I will be in a moment.
if that is your real name.
That is your real name. I don't know why I tagged Revival because Josh is driving.
Yes, he
Did you
is.
see the story he put up of him I don't know if he meant to do something, but it's like a 6-second story of him just staring at the camera.
Yeah. That was a request by the chat.
What, the woo?
2 claps
2 claps and a woo?
and a woo.
All right.
Okay, let's do this.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Loose is Fast podcast, your podcast home for all things NASCAR and some things not. I'm Kyle Belcher and joined, as always, by Daniel Walker.
Hello.
And Norman Pelletier.
Unequivocally.
On today's episode, we will talk some NASCAR news, recap the first weekend of the playoffs, answer some questions,
Playoffs?
have some fun along the way. But before we get into that and everything that is this episode, Dan, tell the people a little something, something.
We're brought to you this week by our own merch site. Woo! More on that in a second. We are mainly brought to you by the Revival Motoring Network and revivalmotoring.com/B4B. Norm, what
Yes.
at?
Bucks for the boys! Did that work?
You're going to break
No,
that. No,
it
it didn't.
Damn it.
Not as much as you'd hoped.
I was hoping it'd break the mic, but
You just leave.
And
Sorry,
the
guys, I'm
sound
out.
barrier.
I'm out. Bucks for the boys. That is our way of funding all of these wonderful lights, microphones, boards, cameras, TVs,
Yeah.
neons.
We do it for you.
Yep, Kyle's pointed at the camera for those on the YouTube and not listening audibly. Bucks for the Boys is our value for value system where if you like what you hear each week from us or topics or Revival, then you can help us, like I said, pay all the bills in this joint. It's a monthly recurring donation. You can do $2, $5, $10, or $20 or a combination of those to make a number that suits you.
Yes.
If you want to make a one-time donation, not a monthly recurring one, you can use PayPal. It is info@revivalmotoring.com. On both of those options, make sure you leave a note saying that we sent you. They may remember to read it on Revival. They probably won't. I was listening last week, and they were like, no one ever leaves us notes. And then Josh looked. He's like, actually, we have like 3. Sorry, my bad.
Nice.
He's been a little busy. I get it.
Yeah, he's prepping.
Was. He gone
He
right
doing now.
He doing the thing.
Is he eastbound and down currently?
He was in,
he's in Virginia last I looked.
Last I saw, I think he was in Tennessee.
Oh, and you looked more recently than I did.
Well, he was at a racetrack. Shenandoah was in Virginia. You're right. He was at like a racetrack, like a little short track. It was like Shenandoah Speedway or something. Is he?
Oh, no, that was 2 hours ago.
Is there a thing you can track him on? Or do you have his location?
I have his location. Yeah, he's still in BA.
Oh, okay. Well, Virginia takes forever.
Yeah.
Because is he on 81?
Yeah. Norm, you could not do that.
My phone's on mute. I don't know why.
He is close to the border.
So Bristol? Because Bristol's the first town in 81. Like, there's a Bristol, Virginia, and a Bristol, Tennessee right in 81. Like, they're both the same town as the United States.
He's right there.
That drive, because I've gone down to Tail of the Dragon that way, 81 through Virginia takes like 9.5 hours. It is miserable, and there's nothing to look at.
Yeah, he's got
It is just rolling hills and cows. Yeah, because now he's going to get into Tennessee. He's going to get on 40, and 40 just goes forever. You go from 81 to 40, because that's the way me and my dad took to Dallas like 20 years ago.
He still has
For those
11 hours to go.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, Josh from Revival is driving his Volkswagen R32 that is Smokey and the Bandit themed. He started here, this morning?
Yeah.
Like last night, this morning? And he is driving to Texarkana, Texas, and back. Just because. If you know Smokey and the Bandit, Texarkana makes sense.
Yep.
Is he getting some cores?
I hope he brings like a Coors that he bought in Texarkana back with him.
He should.
Just like one can.
Does it count if he does 90% of it on the back of a tow truck?
He's
It counts.
doing all right so far, I think.
Yeah. Still trucking.
If you want to support him, pay for gas, pay for tickets, pay for anything, they do have a bunch of the R32 Smokey and the Bandit merch. And I think any purchase enters you to win the Yeti cooler that they have.
Yeah, I think
They got a big Yeti, one of the black Yeti 45s, and it's covered in all the stickers they're kind of stickered up like the car is. It's actually pretty sick.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, back to B for B. PayPal is also the home of Kyle's Race Day Challenge.
Yep.
Kyle, that thing is what is?
If you donate the dollar amount that matches the driver's number you believe won on Sunday and guess correctly, send you a little something, something. Big shouts to Ronan in the chat.
Ronan!
It's our boy right there. Also, big news. You can also support the show by buying our merch now.
Yes, we have decided to try something different.
Yeah, so we have launched our own merch site. You can go to loosesfast.myshopify.com. May change that and pay for a permanent URL, but
Pretty simple, though.
for now.
At least it's not like loosesfast.myshopify./3624.net. Like, it's pretty easy to
Are
remember.
those your measurements?
Buddy.
Yeah, 36, 24, 36. But only if you 5'3".
Only if you 5'3".
Yep.
I rep.
Anyway, loosesfast.myshopify.com. You can go get yourself some merch, which you've all talked about. And if you don't buy it, I'm going to fight all of you because you keep talking about merch. And if you don't buy it,
We look stupid.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Currently, I have 11 things I've posted, or
And this is different
12.
from our normal merch. There is no pre-orders. There is no limits. There's no, you can go on there whenever you want, buy whatever you want. So we got what?
Yep.
What do we have right now? A shirt? Couple shirts?
1, 2, 3.
I like that Norm said that
4
he posted
t-shirts.
11 things. But
All right, I posted 9 things. Kyle posted. No, I posted.
no, you posted 8 things.
Yeah, but who's going to buy your foam trucker hat?
More people than have bought anything that you posted.
Oh!
The only time we posted about it, they're going to buy after this episode. We're going to sell, out of everything.
I love when mom.
So it's 9-0 right now.
I love when mom and my uncle fight.
9
But
things
yeah,
that
we
I
got-
made and 0 things that Norm made have been purchased. So
We have 4 T-shirts, 2 sweatshirts, a trucker hat, a big ass sticker, 2 sweatshirts, a giant Lucis Fast flag.
Yeah, a lot of you have been
Yeah.
begging us for flags for like 3 years. You can finally go get yourself a flag.
And then my 2
my only
personal
problem is that
favorites.
you didn't put the QR code on it.
It didn't fit on their template. It would have been, I would have had to redo the whole thing.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it was low res.
Disregard.
It's fine.
My 2 favorite things, a Lucis Fast fanny pack.
What? I didn't see the fanny pack.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
all over print fanny pack.
Also,
Yo!
Lucis Fast booty shorts. So buy those. For whatever reason, their template was horrible. So it's not going to line up at all, but it'll get the point across. All right.
If you want to wear Lucis Fast across your butt, do we have the shorts for you?
I will be on my camper at Pocono next year with those on.
Just those,
Just those.
which is not even a joke.
No, I know it's not. That's why I said it.
I mean,
So-
they seem nice.
So we are hyped because now, like I said, it's no longer like the problem is with a lot of the stuff, when we were doing our own merch through here is we got to get samples and wait, and then there's pre-orders, and it was just a long, drawn-out process. We decided to try something a little different, and it's kind of direct to you. You order it, and it gets made, and then gets shipped off to you.
Yeah.
So you can order it whenever you want. If it's cold one morning and you're like, boy, I need a new hoodie. Guess what? We got 2 options for you.
Yep. 2 different.
If you're like, I feel like spicing it up in the bedroom, we got booty shorts.
they're not booty shorts. They're actually like a
They're
decent
like gym
length.
shorts,
you-
aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They can be cut.
I mean, you could get the shorts and then get 2 stickers and cover your nipples with them and really spice things up.
Yeah.
They're big stickers.
Yeah. 5-inch.
What if
I think
someone's
they're
got big
They're
nipples?
5-inch circles.
What if they're 5-inch? Holy crap, those are
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. Put them
One
on
of
the
the
back of your
pictures-
truck.
It's
You're
actually
welcome.
completely average.
I didn't think it was that big, and one of the pictures it's on a skateboard,
Oh, hot damn.
and it takes up like the entire skateboard.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. I got to replace the sticker on my truck then because
Yeah.
that one's too goddamn small.
Exactly. So head over to lucisfast.myshopify.com. Support your boys.
Ronan
and-
said he will also be on the camper with the shorts.
awesome.
Ronan will fill them out real nice.
Love it.
That boy.
Love it.
Yeah, now that we have this at our fingertips,
We can do.
you're right. If we say something funny or catchy during one of the shows and it kind of catches on, I can quickly make something.
Yep, this is going to be fun.
upload it.
Golf butts drive me nuts.
We have
Could have been a t-shirt.
We've basically unleashed the norm. Is what we've done. And
I've had to hold back because I would have spent the entire weekend making stuff.
yeah.
Why
And
didn't
then kind of like blew my load all at once. And I was
It
like, I'll
happens.
save some of these ideas. Like I have one in my brain,
Yep.
which was similar to one of our original T-shirts that Josh said he couldn't do when they were screen printing. them.
Yes. Yes.
This, because it's not screen printed, this is like the iron-on type stuff, I imagine.
I don't know.
I don't know how T-shirts are made.
Well, I know
it
that
depends on.
Yeah, it's not full-on
What we
screen
go.
printed. The hats supposedly are embroidered. I did not want to go crazy with the hats just because, as far as I know, Josh is still getting some made.
Yeah.
So those will be through Revival. So I didn't go crazy and make hats because I didn't want to make duplicates.
Is the
through this
flag
website?
double-sided? I don't
It
think
is
so.
not.
Sam
It was
Valley, it is not.
It was not an option.
Okay, he just asked. No, it is
And
not.
honestly, I don't recommend the double-sided ones because they don't fly.
Yeah, so
because
the
they are
ones-
so thick.
So
ones
buy
that-
2 flags, sew them together.
Yeah, the ones that we got made for ourselves, I mean, it takes a solid 8 to 10 mile an hour wind for that thing to even try
I think
to fly.
the second Circle Jerks flag, the one I
you really
made,
got to blow it to get it up.
Yeah, exactly.
the one I made,
Lot of blowing to
I
get that
had
thing up.
to cut the holes and insert
Yes.
the eyelets in them.
Yeah,
This is, if you ordered the Brad Perez flag,
much like that
it's
one.
going to be like that.
Yep.
Single-sided, but high quality.
Yep.
That soft material. It's not really like an outdoorsy flag.
And you're not going to hang it off the back of your car because it'll get destroyed in 5 seconds, but
Right.
fly it off your...
But off the camper,
Hell yes.
minty fresh. Hang
Yep.
it from the side of your
House.
easy up.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang it in your living room over your family pictures. Ideal.
Hang it above your bed so your wife has to look at it. While,
Put it over
never
your
mind.
fireplace so you know it doesn't blind you.
Yeah, just cover the family picture. I like your idea of covering family
Yeah.
pictures. Who needs family? You got us.
Use it as a blanket. I got nothing else.
Be a bad blanket.
Yeah.
I was gonna say some stuff that
All right, we're gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, go support us. Buy some junk.
Yes, Joe. Shout out to my poll.
and anything else. If you guys have any ideas, let us know. There was limited.
And if you don't buy stuff, we're not doing anything.
Yeah,
there
so
was
you gotta buy
limited
stuff.
options on the website. Like I wanted to do koozies. They didn't have koozies on their website, but we could do like shakers and shit like that.
Oh, that's koozies.
But I just don't know. I didn't see koozies. I looked.
You don't type koozie.
It's like
I looked
canned-
in. I
canned
looked in
cooler.
all the accessories. All the
Yeah, it's
there
like
were
buried.
bottles.
I'll
I
show you
could've
where they
done
are.
Mugs.
I'll show you where they are.
Like we could do like world's best podcast mugs or something.
Yeah, I'll show you where it is.
But yeah, definitely go buy stuff. And if this works, you guys come up with ideas, things that you want. You know, that's also where the Discord will come into play. Go join our Discord because
Yeah, and if
people
you
can
guys-
bounce ideas around. I saw what Carter Rupley said, and I'm not.
I did a couple option
Jesus,
colors.
Mike.
I did a couple of color options on the shirts, but I mostly designed this stuff to be on black shirts. So if you guys come out and say that, oh, we love more white shirts or
Gray
red shirts.
yeah.
and-
I know a couple people ordered the green one you put up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I just like dark green, so.
And order everything and then tell us the quality of stuff so we could change.
Yeah,
Like,
if you get something and it's
because Kyle put in, he did the initial Lucis Fast shirt, and I couldn't find the exact shirt he used, so I chose a different one that said premium, heavy, cotton, or whatever. And if one's better than the other, let us know.
yeah, if you get something and the quality of the fabric is questionable or you think it could be better, let us
Right.
know.
I went by,
Feedback's good.
Yep.
yeah, what I assumed would be good. Like the sweatshirts, like the collars might be tight. I don't know.
Yep.
If you want non-hoodie sweatshirts, let us know.
Yep.
But
Crew
you guys got to buy stuff so we can make stuff.
Yo, can we get golf shirts made?
Polos?
Let's
I didn't look
start
at polos,
start
but-
here. Start where we're at.
I
See
just
what we
want
got.
one for me.
Oh, I can finally get those mechanic shirts I've been talking about.
Can do that.
That's cool. Sick.
All right, we'll keep moving here. We will start with callbacks as we always do. Calling back to the Darlington race. Average of 2.4 million viewers on USA, up 5% from last year. So pretty solid numbers there. And now we're going to get into my least favorite segment now because everything sucks.
Dan, you did it.
I pulled a Norm.
A Dan win is better than a Kyle win. That's all.
The
I can
old race picks,
Bro, he
which
had
I
it.
used to be a part of.
He had that win until the last corner.
Yep, sure did, but then I didn't. So I did not win yet again, adding to my streak of 2 months without even smelling a point.
say. I think this is my first last place finish in a long time.
Yeah. So
is.
to remind everybody what we picked for Atlanta, I chose Mr. Bubba Wallace, which was good until it wasn't. Norm chose Mr. Christopher Buescher, which didn't go very well fairly early.
Yeah, he was like 12th or so, but
And by default, Dan takes it home with Michael McDowell finishing, what, 22nd?
22nd.
Hell yeah. Bringing Dan's score up to 6.
Coming back. No.
I looked at the results. One of us could have literally picked
Yeah,
JJ
I saw
Yaley
you
and
say
won the whole thing.
I saw you
Dan's
say that.
6, my 13, and Norm still holding strong at 17. So, looking ahead to Watkins Glen, Norm finishing last. You get to choose first. Who do you want? Norm Pelletier.
Is it just me, or has this been like the most difficult pick of the season?
I can't decide.
I've thought about it all day.
There have been 7 cars floating around in my head. It's Watkins Glen, so I think the right choice is a Hendrick Motorsports car.
Agreed.
But I'm going to throw a curveball because I kind of want to save the ringers for the late season.
Same.
And I'm going to go with the guy who has scored the most points on road courses this season, Mr. Alexander Bowman.
Damn it.
Oh, no.
He is the worst at Watkins Glen out of the group. I looked at the last 3 years, which are the last 3 next gens, and he has won top 10 in those 3 races. Meanwhile, his teammates, I think, all have top 5s every race. But
Yeah.
he's on a hot one right now. He's been good this year. I'm going to go with Alex Bowman.
That is a wonderful pick.
Unequivocally, I'm going with Alex Bowman.
It's a good pick. Oh, man, that really hurts. I am
Did
going.
I take your pick?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
How are we doing this? We have the whole field in 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
stealing
I
each other's
thought
picks.
about the same thing. I am going to take someone who is shockingly good at road courses constantly, and I'm going to take your pick from last week with Chris Buescher.
Yeah, he's always sneaky good at. Is he
He's finished outside the top 10 once, and he finished 11th in like the last 3 years on road courses, which is going to be the second time is going to be now because I think I have taken Dan's bad luck because you have won 3 times since I've won.
Seriously?
I haven't won
it
since
that-
June.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
They say he's the William Byron of podcast hosts.
Yikes.
boring.
Dude, this is hard as hell because you're right. There's
Loves Legos and getting pegged. I mean,
Whoa!
pegging Legos together. That's the terminology, right?
Jesus. Woo! I'm all out of sorts now.
That's how I get Dan
Did it
off
all
his
start
game for
after
his
Joey or what?
Jesus.
Damn, who do you got for Watkins Glen?
I'm with you guys. This is hard because, like, you're right. You want to pick a
I'll pick
Hendrick
for you if
car.
you want.
Nope. I have an idea, but
I think
also,
my top 4 picks are like my suspected final 4. So I'm
Ew.
like, I can't use any of these guys.
I had an idea. I was thinking about going with SVG. But again,
Yeah.
with it being an open car, like, he didn't do that great at Coda, did he?
Coda, I don't think he was anywhere near it. Chicago. I mean, he was in.
Yeah, but
third when
Chicago's
he
a
got wrecked.
special animal. That's a whole. I'm worried about
The
Watkins
problem,
Glen.
the problem is it's a colleague car.
Well, and he's really good at the technical shit. Watkins Glen is just fast and flowy.
Right.
and-
You're going. Watkins Glen is going to be a problem for him because you're going up against guys that have been racing here for 20 years.
Give me Clyde.
One Chase Elliott.
That was going to be one of my picks.
Also, can we talk about? Me and Kyle brought this up earlier. Since we're
Kyle and I.
Kyle, whatever.
Okay, Mister. I graduated high school the first try.
Yeah, seriously. You actually graduated, so I didn't. Can we talk about, since we're segueing into the paint scheme chat? He drove the car designed by a sick kid and didn't crash 3 laps into the race.
That's a start. It's called progress.
That car's been cursed for what, 4 years? Every
Yeah,
time he
it's like
runs that
Bowman
scheme.
at
Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah. So yeah, give me Chase. I'm going with. I mean, he's already got a win there. He usually runs
He was
pretty
who
well
I was
there.
going to go with because, like Bowman, I don't expect to really need him super late.
That's
in the playoffs.
what I'm thinking too. Yep.
I really wanted to go Christopher Bell. I think he has an average finish of like 6.
I thought about a Toyota, but I'm worried about them right now. With all, I mean, how many weeks in a row has somebody from Toyota had some sort of mechanical problem? And
Chase
that
is
scares
probably
me.
a good pick with the new tires
Yeah,
because he
that's-
was good in the Gen 6.
Yep.
So he's decent with worn out tires.
I know, remember when Chase was the road course ringer?
Yeah.
And then they switched to the next gens, and he was like, I don't know how to do this anymore.
Well, hopefully he changes it for
The
you
old
this
tires
week.
might work out for him, but Watkins Glen is just, he's heavenly there.
That's the big thing. We
I mean, Larson, highly wearing tires.
yep.
Kyle Larson's going to lap the field, but whoever finishes
Goodyear
second is
actually
who our
finally
win's gonna
officially came out today and said they're expecting 4 seconds of fall off. It's been all over the place with all the different tests they've done, but Goodyear's official claim is 4 seconds of fall
be.
off.
The problem is it's a road course, so everyone's going to run the exact same strategy.
Yep.
So everyone's tires are going to fall off the same,
Yep.
and then we're just going to be watching cars 4 seconds slower.
All right, and we will get into the final segment. Some people's favorites, some not. But we call it Norm's Scheme of the Week. What do you got for the folks? Norm, what do you think?
Some hitters this week.
Which ones do you want to bring up?
The 12.
Take a look
wanna
at
say
the
that's
old
the first
12.
Go back up. What was the 8?
That's a
The
sharp.
Global Industries.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That was a good looking.
That was
scheme.
bright. I liked it.
51.
If
That's
you
also-
squint at
all
the
3 of those schemes are
yeah,
actually
if
really
you
good looking.
squint at the 51, it looks like Rowdy Burns' car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than the last Grady attempt. The 12, the Dent Wizard car.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
I'm glad.
that
Go back
scheme.
up. I'm glad the Mavis car has gone kind of back to simple. It's not.
I've liked pretty much everything that they've
They've-
done with the Mavis cars.
That car started off really well, and then they kind of lost the plot. And I
Well,
feel
this
like
is
they're going
like
back
the
to it.
original.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
then They
mean.
went to like almost like the two-tone.
Started
where
really
the-
good, by the way.
Where the tire track.
Oh
was
my
kinda
God!
two-tone. What do you say?
He said it started off really well. No, it started off good.
I don't like the hood logo. How it has a shadow around it.
Dude,
I
you're
think
gonna
that's
catch this
unnecessary.
freaking Yeti across the skull. I swear to God, if you correct grammar anymore. He goes to Jersey once and he thinks.
But
he's
yeah, the
highbrow.
12 Dent Wizard car, straight fire.
Yeah, it is. I've always liked that one.
Yeah,
super
that's
hot.
a great car.
14,
that.
I love that Mahindra black car. 15 was kind of
Mighty Firebreaker.
What? Where else we going?
cool. 16 just looks like a freeway car.
The
The 34.
19 though, switching those colors and making that car primarily white, fire.
Yeah.
You can't ever go wrong with a PB Blaster paint scheme.
Nope,
No, the
PB Blaster schemes are always so
got me
hot.
the win too.
Yeah.
sure did. Blasted in right into the victory
Enhance.
lanes.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Anything else?
The Jordan car is so good. The 45. That
I
is
don't
just.
love it. I love the idea behind it. I don't like the steering wheel.
It's not a steering wheel.
It's a steering wheel.
That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's a steering wheel though. The sick guard scheme really confused me. I don't like it.
Why does that look like two different words?
It's two different fonts.
like two different logos
It's
pasted
like
together.
It's because of the body line, I think. It
Maybe.
kind of like off cameras it. But just like the whiter on the wheel well,
Yeah.
it looks like a backup car.
yeah.
Like
Keep
that
going.
they couldn't fully wrap.
Who gets the win for you, Mr. Norm Pelletier?
I actually really like that scheme.
The 42 just
That
stuffed.
TD Bank, Ollie Pop car.
Keep going.
I think that was pretty much
43,
it. 22. That Auto Trader 22 is perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, the 19 making that a primarily white car is changed that. I didn't like that scheme when it was the blue, but primarily white.
I don't
it
mind
looks great.
it. It's just the logos are way too small in the 19.
You got bacon on the side of the 47? Yep.
Yeah. I think the 34 is the best scheme, though.
34 is
Nothing
getting
else
the
really
old
jumps out
scheme
at
of the
me.
week.
Yeah.
I think that is a very good pick.
Yeah, it is. It's
Very
cool.
When they were on
Close.
BJ's car a couple times, it looked
It looks
banging
sick.
every time.
Yeah, it always
Good.
looks sick.
In the same-
And it's
they
a
had-
wonderful product.
It
They
is.
had the same problem with both cars. The number fonts ruined the car for me.
Yeah. So
I
the
hated
scheme
BJ 78 and I hate the 34.
scheme of the week is going to Michael McDowell in the PB Blast number 34 Ford Mustang for Front Row Motorsports.
Front Row Motor Club.
PB Blast 34 car. Also, like I said, fantastic products. And not just the PB Blast.
Joe Soul in the Discord on the merch chat. Bold choice to have loose as fast plastered all over your ass.
Yeah. Loose is fast on the edge of out of control, baby. All right. And now we'll get into our Some Things Not segment, in which we call Off Track. What do you got for the folks, Norm?
All right. Spent a little bit of time on the computer this weekend. I made up, like we saw, a bunch of stuff on the Lucis Fast website.
Looks great. Proud of you. Thank you.
Some guys started spitting out their mini stock paint schemes.
Yes.
So I spent a good 2.5 hours yesterday, or
Did you make a Fiero?
I made a Fiero.
Okay.
That needs some fine tuning.
Those
Not
things
perfect yet.
are a riot.
I haven't driven it yet. I
It is
skipped out on the
so
other
much
night.
fun.
Ooh, we got a fresh order.
What do we got? Who do we got? Shout it out. You
Who is
order
it?
live during the
Who
show.
is it?
You're going to
Who
get
is
shouted
it?
out.
Who is it?
Joe Soul.
Yeah, you need every time you get that message, you need to do cha-ching.
Justin Smith.
Just bust.
Isn't that like his third order?
We have like 5 orders, and 3 of them are him.
But he bought my stuff this time. So tally up that bitch.
Okay, so it's 9-2. Proud of you.
Hey,
Thank you, Justin.
that's how we started the season. How the race picks going for you, Kyle?
Really badly.
Thanks, Just Boss. We love you.
Yeah, so I painted up a couple things on
He's been
the
asking for flight forever.
Photoshops.
So we
love you.
tested those with Pro last Wednesday. Had a fun night of messing around with those. They're like as fun as the street stock is on things it shouldn't be fun at, like road courses. A riot with those. I didn't.
Did
think
you
they
take
would,
them on a rallycross track by chance?
No, we did not. We did.
imagine that would be fun.
We did a short track. What did we do? I forget. Though they did Bristol, or we did Bristol. That was all right. It was just wide open. We did Lanier in the dirt. They were actually a lot of fun in the dirt.
Well, they're actually dirt cars.
Yeah. We did a small little road, like some small version of a bigger road, a Snetterton, but like their little tiny version, like 50-second
like
laps.
the go-kart track.
Yeah, wicked fun. And then we did Charlotte, which was a mess.
They need to scan GoPro Motorplex for these things.
Yes, they're so much fun though.
And then the last thing, have you guys ever got sucked into like a really bad TV show, but you can't stop
Yep.
watching it?
Constantly.
All the time.
I started watching Fire Country.
I heard of that.
It's like straight up like, like the horrible first responder, like 911 shows.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where it's like the most corny scenarios ever, like horrible CGI, like the most ridiculous
Yes.
things ever. It's like, this biohazard truck flipped over and there's a child stuck underneath. And
like
we gotta save him.
there's a wildfire, but the skydiver's stuck in a tree. We have to save
Oh my
them.
God. And
Yeah.
it's like, they like to over dramatize everything, so everything takes way longer than it should. Like, there's a car hanging over a cliff, and it's the entire 45-minute episode. It's like, I feel like you should have saved him in about 3 minutes. Like, but I can't stop watching it. It's like the main story.
Love you,
main
Joe. Thank
story
you.
Keeps grabbing me.
Soul got one too.
Yeah.
That's the money.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Oh.
There you go. The main story keeps dragging me in, but all the B and C stories are fucking horrible. But I've watched like 30 episodes of it in the past week.
I will add to that. I was dating a girl and we were watching Vampire Diaries.
Oh,
Not by choice. It was by force. And I was like season 3. So I was like, I got to see this through after we broke up. So I watched it by myself.
Steph got super into what was it, Lucifer? Not that's a bad show.
Oh, I
but-
love
Great
Lucifer.
show.
It's not a bad show, but I was like at first, I'm like, what is this? And then all of a sudden, like 2 seasons later, I'm like, wait, what happened? How am I
it's a
here?
fantastic show.
How am I here?
Daniel,
Yeah.
the love interest ex-husband on
Yeah.
Lucifer, is one of the main characters
Oh,
on
okay.
Fire Country.
Oh, no shit.
But he's obviously Spanish. It's
Yes.
not a secret by any means. But they just like over dramatize that like everything else in the show.
Yeah.
It's like randomly he'll just say random words and they'll just put way too much flair on it. And
Yeah.
it's like,
We got
All right,
years ago when Chicago Fire first came out, we got sucked into that
yeah,
show.
this is along those
And then
lines.
literally, I think it took me 4 seasons to realize that it's the same plot every season where like 2 of them fall in love. By like the 8th episode, one of them almost dies in a fire and it's this big dramatic thing. And then they realize we shouldn't be together anymore. And then, you know what I mean? It's like, it was the
this
same
show.
thing
the
like
main
4 times.
character is a convict who works at a fire camp, and you find out his whole family runs fire departments all over the state.
Yeah.
He's
Sorry.
a prodigy fire department.
I have a
guy.
correction. Not Joe Soul. Average Joe. Joe Spinelli made our order.
Oh, I didn't hear you say soul. My
I
fault.
did.
I
My
should have
bad.
corrected you.
Yeah, you should have corrected me. I don't have the access to these things, so.
My fault.
But yeah, I can't stop watching it. So if you want a really shitty TV show to watch, Fire Country.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Dan, how was your anniversary weekend?
Wonderful. Dragged the camper up north. We're a little worried. All last week, the weather looked like absolute shit. Looked like it was going to be a washout. And then sometime around Wednesday, it started to shift the other direction. Ended up being an absolutely beautiful weekend, minus the wind. It's windy as fuck all weekend. Trying to play golf in it. Not fun, but we managed. Just went up to, it's one of the national forest campgrounds. So it's very like, it's not like going to like a KOA. There's not like a fucking playground and a swimming pool and all this other shit. It's just very bare bones. But they have like 30 sites that they put electric and water in. So you got your,
Oh, so you got hookups?
yeah, you got hookups. No,
Sick.
yeah. So, but it's just
Way
nice,
more
like,
convenient.
A lot of people, like we were the youngest people in the campground, except for like there was a couple across from us that was probably our age. But it's all looks like a lot of retirees and shit.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
The hookups, is it just like a box?
Yep.
And you just,
So there's a
do you have your own stuff that you plug into it, or does that
yeah
plug into
so
you?
It literally looks like a power pole. You open it. There's most of them have like a normal house outlet, and then there's either a 30 or a 30 and a 50 amp hookup. Our camper's 30 amp. Big boys like buses and shit, those are going to run a 50 amp.
Oh, okay.
They're just bigger, more power. And then I just have a cord. You plug it into that. It looks like a dryer.
Yeah,
Plug.
yeah.
Plug it into that. Plug it into the camper. You have power, and then the water is what you think it is. It's a spigot. It's a hose.
Oh, okay.
It's just a hose thing coming out of the ground. We have a hose that has a filter on it, and it runs. Usually there's a pressure regulator on it too, which we have one. Because if you have too much pressure, you can blow all your fucking plumbing apart. Like if you have a really
Right.
too much, you just hook that up, hook it up to the camper, turn the water on. Done. That's all she wrote.
But there's no waste. You have to go somewhere to.
So they
empty.
have a dumping station. So we did have to like keep an eye on our tanks all weekend. Some campgrounds, like a lot of the KOAs, have sewer, so you can like run the hose. You don't leave it wide open. You still let the tanks fill up, but then you can just dump them if you need to.
Oh,
kind
okay,
of
cool.
thing.
Cool. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're fine. But like, so we put this box. You plug a surge protector in, then you plug your cable in, plug it into the camper. Done.
Cool.
Very easy. Very easy. No, so much easier than the generator, having to dump fucking gas in it and listen to a generator all weekend.
Oh, I bet.
It's just nice. But yeah, very chill weekend. Went on a little hike on, was it Saturday? Saturday. Just more or less to tire the dogs out, which it worked wonderfully because we do a 4-mile hike. They do a 30-mile hike because they're ahead, they're back, they're ahead, they're back, they're over here, they're up there, they're running
Right.
around like
Yeah,
idiots all day, while we're just we're huffing and puffing on the trail. Threw a little wrinkle in this time. Never done it before. Brought the cats with us.
Really?
We were sitting there. We've always joked about it. Like, I wonder how it would go. And I said last week, I was like, why don't we just fucking do it? Like, we've never done it before. We're not doing anything. No one's with us. It's just us. Like, let's just try it. So Cheese, my older cat, howled the entire way there. He hates the car. Does not like the car. So that was annoying. 2 hours of meow, meow, meow. I'm like, dude, what? Like, we're joking. Like, we're talking to him. We're like, what? Like, cool. You've said it the whole ride. You don't need to say it anymore. And he just look at you and go, like just stare into your soul and meow at you. But as soon as we got there, he was chill as hell. He's like, "Oh, you brought me to another house. Cool,
Nice.
awesome." The kitten was a little weird at first. She's a little skittish with new stuff. If you need to find a place that you didn't know you had in a camper, she'll find it.
Oh, hiding?
Like random little, the dinette, how there's the two, like where we keep the waters underneath.
Yeah.
Underneath. There's an opening that big under the door. She got through there. I looked at her. I was like, "Are you made of liquid?" Like
So 8 inches.
Yeah, exactly. Like she was finding all the hidey holes, but then she chilled out. She had fun. It was awesome having the whole family up there. It was cool. Like you get back, and it's like, holy shit, the cat's here. That's funny as hell.
That's awesome.
But yeah, played 2 rounds of golf, had fun, beautiful. I mean, the weather was absolutely beautiful. We played Mount Washington, the hotel up there in Bretton
Oh, yeah.
Woods.
Yeah.
Played there last year. It was pouring rain. So like this year it was windy, but it was like sunny. You could see the top of Mount Washington. In the morning, they run the Cog Railway. They have one of the old steam trains. Like most of them, I think they're diesel now. Like they're like biodiesel. They don't make any steam or anything like that. But I think first thing in the morning, they run one of the old school steam engines up. So we saw it go up the whole mountain. Like you could see the plume.
That's cool.
It was actually really, we're miles away, but you can see it going up the track. It was sick as hell.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then Sunday night was awful. The aforementioned wind. I've never experienced wind like that in a camper in my life. It sounded like someone was driving a freight train through the campground.
Jesus.
4:00 in the morning, I get woken up to the camper moving. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you can hear it. The camper's not moving, but you hear this dull roar coming from this way. And then it gets louder and louder and louder. And then all of a sudden the camper's doing this.
Oh, no.
And now I'm doing the mental gymnastics. What did I leave outside? What could blow away? I'm like, nothing. I didn't leave anything outside. Everything should be good. But it's dark, pitch black. We're surrounded by trees. I'm waiting for that one wind gust that's going to put the oak tree through the fucking middle of the camper in the middle of the night.
Oh, God.
It was kind of nerve wracking. I finally was able to chill out and fall back asleep. Wake up the next morning. Our neighbors, they had a nice, like, not a pop up like ours, like kind of just the basic pop ups. They had one that you'd probably like set up in your backyard, like a really nice one, 15 feet up in a tree.
Oh, God.
And the woman's like, I was talking to her and she's like, yeah, it looks okay. The canvas isn't ripped or anything. And I'm thinking to myself, lady, the legs are going 4 different directions. Like that thing's porked.
It's done.
How do you extract that without it getting
Yeah.
destroyed?
It
is the
wasn't
question.
like part of it was fit. Like one of the legs was 15 feet up. I mean, it was like the other leg was almost touching the ground. She's like, well, we had it staked down. And I wanted to be like, yeah, I had mine staked down too.
Yeah, not very well.
Not very well, dude. It was a mess. Honestly, just nerve wracking, just like terrifying because you can't see anything. I can't use my phone. We don't have any service. I can't like check the weather. Like, how long is this gonna last?
Yeah.
Just kind of ride it out. But other than that, yeah, I mean, just nice weekend just to get the hell away.
Yeah.
Relax.
Well,
and
look nice.
Chill out and
Yeah,
it was a good time.
pictures. Very nice.
Good time. What about you, Kyle?
This weekend, I went down to Wildwood, New Jersey for the Roots Classic 3 car show. Second year going, third year they've been running the show. Missed out the first year, and I said I'd never do that again. So I've been the last 2 years, and it is unbelievable.
I really want to go, but like me and Steph were talking about this weekend, it always falls on our anniversary weekend.
Right.
So it's like, and I just don't want to go to Jersey.
Honestly, it's
That part of Jersey's nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful little town. All like the all the hotels are more like motel style, and they're like your classic
Beachy
70s
towns.
beach vibe towns where they have, different orbs of light bulbs down the hallways, and it's all like exposed outside.
Yeah.
And like one has, blue lights, and one's green lights, and one has like little palm tree lights.
Is
and
it like the
stuff.
villages in Florida where the loofahs mean things, or
Maybe.
like if
I'm not sure.
If you have a green light, it means like
Jury's still out on
open for everything. If it's got a blue light, like you watch, I do. Like,
Hey man, you're the one who wants the camper. Right?
listen, I hide the upside down pineapples where you guys can't see them.
Yeah, on the one you have on the tailgate there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. But no, like all the motels and hotels and stuff are like super retro
There's no
looking.
massive. It's not like Ocean City where you have the massive.
Yeah, they're not bought out by anything, but they're all like restored and modern and really nice. Like most of our friends are staying at the Starlux, which is like a classic 70s.
That sounds
look.
like something out of the 60s.
It's sick. And they all have neon signs, but they're all freshly painted, super clean, super nice, whatever. It's super cool town.
They fixed their neon.
Yeah, they all of the neons. There's one, the Daytona Motel.
I saw us get tagged in a picture of that you
Yep.
didn't see on.
I was sitting right next to
Instagram.
him when he did it.
okay.
So yeah, awesome time down there. It's a classic kind of classic Volkswagen show. It's pre-2000 Volkswagens.
It sounds like we actually had this conversation multiple times this weekend. Up north is a lot of the same thing. A lot of those old school motels.
Yeah.
And I said to Steph, I was like, this looks back at, I think about what it must have been like in like the 60s, like load the whole family up in the station wagon and go up north and stay in one of these little, probably the same shit there. Like,
Yeah. Oh, but it's
like the family road
5
trip.
every
Yeah,
block.
stay at the Skyview Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Your
like,
family.
It's super nice down, super
shiny.
clean, lots of different food options, huge boardwalk. Your classic beach town.
that looks like what Ocean City should be, but I feel like Ocean City's gotten too big. Like it still has the boardwalk and stuff, but it's all massive.
It
looks-
exactly that.
Looks like a mini it's like Atlantic City, like giant hotels and shit. Where I feel like if I want to go walk the boardwalk and have that old school vibe, Wildwood sounds like
It's
the jam.
exactly what it
Yeah.
is. Little arcades and little food shops all the way
hell
down the
yeah.
boardwalk. It's sick. Like little carnival rides, the water gun ride.
Yeah.
There's like
But does it
30 of
kind
them.
of turn into H2O? Like, are the streets just mobbing?
No, so the cool thing about the town is almost like is what people would think hurts it. It's like Ocean City, you think cruising up and down the strip, right? Mm-hmm. There is no strip to cruise because it's a perfect grid.
Yes.
And it's like light. So it's more like all the meets all weekend are sanctioned in parking lots that have permits and everything. So
it's
like
not
you're
just
not getting
pop-ups,
kicked out. So it's really, really cool. So we got down there Friday early morning. We left at like 3 a.m. on Friday. Got down there about 9:30. Did breakfast and hung out, whatever. Chilled by the pool, walked the boardwalk, whatever. But Saturday is kind of like the big meet day, and they lay it out like every other hour as the generations get newer.
So if you have like a Mark III but a Cabrio, you can go to like the Mark III and probably a convertible, or like
They
Mark
did
III
a-
and Harlequin. Like, yeah,
It was just air cooled, and then Mark 1, 2, 3.
okay.
They did do a Cabrio one because a whole stack of dudes drove up from Mexico in.
They drove from Mexico.
Apparently.
Holy
apparently they
shit.
drove them the whole way, which was nuts. So every other hour, all day long, was every single meet. So it was super cool. Oh, Friday went over to the zoo. They did a pop-up meet at the zoo. Well, it was a pop-up. It was like the welcome meet, if you will, Dub and Grub. They were grilling burgers, dogs, chips, drinks, waters, sodas, whatever you wanted, all free. Just gave it to anybody that showed up. Awesome time. And the show itself was on Sunday, which was inside the convention center, which is really cool.
On the subject of the like meets and stuff at H2O, that was always tough because a lot of them always overlapped.
Yeah.
So it's like even if I didn't have a Mark 1, I'd be like, I want to go check with the Mark 1 meet. But it's the same time as another one I want to go to.
Yeah.
You know, and that was always annoying because you'd have to pick and choose. Like, what do I want to go to? What am I okay missing? I like that they lay them all out so you can just hit everything.
It was like 9 a.m. was air cooled, and then it was like 10 was Mark 1, 11 was Corrado Scirocco, 1 was Mark 2, 3 was Mark 3, and then at the end of the night was the brewery meetup.
That's that brewery I remember listening.
Mud
Someone
Hen.
did a podcast there last year and Josh was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The People's Car podcast.
Yeah, that's right. So awesome time. I got chosen for top 16.
Sick.
Which was really, really cool. Didn't expect that by any means. And got the East Coast Mark III Roots Choice Award, which was really cool as well.
Nice.
Got shot for some of the after movie stuff and a calendar.
And Sam Dobbins.
Yep.
That man does not miss. You are
No,
right.
he is the nicest guy
He's
in
the
the world.
coolest dude. I haven't seen him in years. I saw him at a show. I think it was Dust Off like last year he was there.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him in years. And I didn't even know he knew who I was. And he comes, oh, Dan, what's going on? I'm like, what?
Nice. Yeah. And for a guy that's as big as he is, he's still super humble, easy
He
to talk
shot
to.
he was
the
shooting
best.
for Hoonigan at the end there, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Right before
and
Ken
he had
passed?
like a 6-year deal with Vossen. He did
Yeah,
all of
I
their
remember the
stuff.
Vossen years,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So great guy, awesome to shoot with him. So had a really good weekend.
I saw a lot of cool shit. Like I just was obviously watching on Instagram from afar. I saw like some interesting shit, like the prototype Corrado Cabrio.
Yeah,
That's sick as hell. And the guy like restored it back to what it was. Like there's only 1 or 2 of them in the world.
yeah.
Like there was some sick shit that showed up to that.
Jamie Orr showed up in the Mark II Long thing.
Oh yeah,
That wide open.
Surprised he didn't get chased out of town. Or
Crazy thing.
I know a lot of people aren't fans of him anymore.
Yeah,
A lot of the Mark 1 nerds are.
Yeah. He's there promoting the him and Elliot had taken over PVW.
Yes.
So I wish them the absolute best. If you have personal issues with him, that's perfectly
Yeah,
fine. But
exactly.
if he's doing something for the community, like trying to save the magazine that we also love,
100%.
support him on that one for sure.
100%.
So it was great to see everybody. You got to hang out with all our friends and see people we don't only see a couple times a year. And
That's the best part about those shows.
Bodie got to come.
That's the best thing about those shows is just hanging out. It's the same as, it doesn't matter what it is. When I used to go to Tail of the Dragon with all my Saturn buddies, like we see each other once a year. Like let's enjoy these 4 days. When we go to H2O, it's like I'm bouncing from condo to sidewalk to side, because just to run into people like my buddy Danny in Tennessee and like, oh shit, we finally saw each other. We haven't seen each other since last year. You know, like it's just, those are the best parts. Like, yeah, cruising the strip at H2O was fun. All the stuff at H2O was fun, but it was the people.
Yeah.
I miss the tap house meets, you know, when the tap house was popping.
And that's very much what this was about the people and hanging out, having a good time. So
hell yeah,
it was a
dude.
blast. Tired, a lot of driving.
Yeah, so I asked you this via text, but I want it on record. How'd it feel to tow with a man's truck?
Holy shit, dude.
Because you did the same drive.
Holy shit.
You did the exact same drive, same car, same trailer last year, but with a Tacoma.
Sure did.
How was it with the big boy truck?
It was a joke. It was an absolute joke. My truck did like 17 and a half miles a gallon on the way down there. I was like, what?
That's pretty good.
It made it down on one tank.
Yeah. How big's the
And-
tank in that?
Like 28,
Oh, you got more than I do.
something like that.
Big old tank.
I'm like 24.
But dude, the truck didn't even
Notice it was
sniff
there?
the trailer.
Yeah, it didn't even.
But it's got all this fancy electronic crap. So when you plug in the trailer, it detects the trailer and you put the weight in and it will manually adjust the gain. It changes all my cameras and stuff.
that's what mine does the same thing. When I plug it in, I have my camper saved with all of its measurements
Yeah.
and shit.
So that's what I did with this one. I didn't even have to put the measurements in. It
Really?
used the cameras and measured it.
That's
which
cool.
is bananas.
That's wild.
And my cup car rearview mirror, when you flip the thing and it turns the camera on the back,
Yes.
it widened it and like angled it so I could pretty much see around the car as my rear view pretty much the whole ride.
shit.
It was awesome.
Because
This
I've showed
episode
you.
is brought to you by Toyota.
Because I've shown you on mine when I have the camper plugged in, because I have the cameras on the bottoms of the rearview mirrors.
Yeah.
Like the around view stuff. When I have the camper plugged in, when I turn the blinker on, my whole screen turns into a giant blind spot mirror. I can see the entire length down the camper and see everything next to me. It's so nice.
Yeah, Tundra did the same
It's
thing.
so cool.
So yeah, truck was great. I mean, I got the vented seats in that. So like when I sit on leather seats for a long drive, I'm sweaty. I'm just a sweaty person. I
It's
run
a
hot.
human thing for
It's a
everyone.
human thing, so I'm
Yeah.
the same way.
I run naturally hot. I was dry, comfortable, wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful drive. And you know, I mean, it's still a 7-hour drive. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but as soon as we got there, we pulled up at like 9:30. I unloaded the car, parked the trailer in the lot that I paid for the spot for the weekend. Steph pulled the truck around. I pulled the Harlequin around right in front of our friends, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on? Good to see you. We're going right to the meet." And I was
There's
like,
nothing like that. Feeling is the greatest.
but like, I didn't usually like last year with that truck. I was like, I gotta lay down for a little while. Like I'm exhausted.
Yep.
Fighting that thing the whole way down. This was an absolute breeze, and I felt like $1 million by the time I got there. So, huge shouts to my Tundra, best purchase ever.
Yeah, I feel the same way with my truck. I actually did some fiddling with the weight distribution hitch this weekend, and it was a much more enjoyable ride home.
Really?
Yeah,
By fiddling, I mean, so it's got the chains. When it originally got set up, she said put it on 8 links from the end, but if it sways, you can go up to 9. And when we brought it home from the dealership, I've said that was with the full water tank. The thing was all over the place, so I put it to 9, and I've always had it on 9. We stopped at the rest stop on the way up there, the big one in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And I noticed it looked like the truck was sitting too high, and it got the wheels turning in my head. I'm like, this thing is still like, it's all right, but like, if you went by me in your truck, if I was doing 60 and you were doing 80, I feel it. And I'm like, man, I wonder if it's got not enough weight on the hitch. So on the way home, I flipped it back down to 8. Thing was unbelievable on the ride home. I was like, what the fuck, I'm doing something wrong this whole time.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just when you get a vehicle that can do things correctly, it's so much nicer.
Dude,
I still
I was
rant and
kissing
rave.
that thing the whole way
I
home.
still
was like, I love
rant
you.
about Pocono. My old trucks, my blue truck that we drove down to Pocono twice now.
Yeah.
I had to stop 150 miles in to get gas because it was getting 8 miles to the gallon. I made it we stop on the way down because we just stop and get ice, and then I just top off because I'm there. But we've 2 years in a row now have made it from Pocono home on a tank of gas or tank of diesel. Not had to stop at all. I'm like,
awesome.
that's insane.
So now that we've talked way too long off track, thank you for listening to our fun.
Yeah.
We had wonderful
You can
weekends.
stop skipping 30 now.
Breaking news.
That's a great segue.
Yeah. The news.
The news.
You've skipped too far. Go back. 15 back.
LoosesFast.myshopify.com. Go buy some merch.
Kyle, did you experience the tram car from Joe Spinelli, our Jersey
Oh,
resident?
yeah. Watch out for the tram car.
Are there like
So there's
trolleys?
You pay like $5 for round trip or whatever. You become one of those hop on, hop off little tram things.
Yeah.
And it's about 75 cars long. And there's 2 like painted lines on the boardwalk that they drive, and they will run you over. They hit the button where it's got a pre-recorded. Watch out for the tram car. Watch out for the
So
tram
you just
car.
heard that all weekend?
And you hear it just stalking you, and you're like, "Oh Jesus!" And it's running up behind you. It scared the living shit out of my dog. Bodie jumped out of his britches.
The problem with it being pre-recorded is it almost would become like normal to hear that.
You know what it
Yeah.
So you're
sounds
going
like?
to notice it less and less.
You know what that
which is a
reminds me
problem.
of? Another classic Volkswagen show. Wait.
Oh,
Wait. The fucking walk signals at H2O.
That
If you-
means burnouts are coming.
If
sir.
you were staying anywhere near an intersection in Ocean City, you heard that in your sleep. Wait.
yeah. So that's that. All right, we'll get into the news. Not a ton of, we'll say, numbered news. Bits of news, but some pretty big ones.
You think?
We'll start with Joe Gibbs Racing. It was announced this past week that Brandon Jones will be leaving Junior Motorsports and returning to Joe Gibbs Racing after just 2 seasons with Junior Motorsports.
You've been in our Discord. That's been a rumor for a while from somebody in our Discord
Yep,
who shall remain nameless because he likes his job.
It's
Yep.
Joe Gibbs.
It's Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs himself.
No, it's that guy Gibbsy.
I mean,
Joe Gibbs.
he's got all the money behind him that he can do whatever he wants.
Except for win.
Yeah, I mean, he did better at JGR, but
he was going to be in the final 4 of the year Ty Gibbs wrecked him, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
I mean, as long as it's like SVG, as long as they go to road courses, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Brandon Jones, as long as they go to Martinsville, he'll be fine
Yeah.
because it's the only track he's good at.
Yeah.
I just had higher hopes for him in that Junior Motorsports car. And I mean, you think about what that car did with Gregson in it. What,
Yeah.
9 wins, and then Brandon Jones gets in it and hasn't won once.
He hasn't done anything.
Hasn't done nothing in it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, it's not,
now
like,
we
he's,
have-
not like he's leaving bad equipment for good equipment.
He's leaving good for good.
Yeah.
He's leaving good for great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think the Gibbs stuff is a little better right now. I think the Junior Motorsports
Yeah,
stuff
it's
has
top tier in Xfinity. No one
Yeah.
can touch him.
So what's that leave for open JRM rides? Just the 9?
It depends if they're going 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, we
Because
still
they
don't
said
know that.
with Zilich, they're bringing back the 88, but they never announced if that was replacing a car or if they
True.
were adding it to their roster. So technically, they could have 2 open seats. Most likely, they have 1 open seat.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it depends on what they keep for numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
the 1 could disappear. It could just be 7, 8, 9, 88.
But right now, they
Why
have
would the one-
Sammy
oh, yeah.
Smith, Justin Allgaier, and Zilich locked in. So theoretically, they have 1 open seat.
Am I forgetting what Mayer's doing?
Mayer's going to SHR. or Haas Factory.
That's right. Sorry.
Yep,
I
sorry.
forgot all
That's gonna
about
take us a while to
forgot
do
all,
Shelly pocket bangers,
I
dude.
forgot all about that.
Yep. So we'll see where that shakes out.
JGR, this does unfortunately probably put a stop to Ryan Truex at JGR because I'm assuming Chandler Smith's coming back. I don't know if they've officially announced it, but there has been 0 talks about him going anywhere else.
Yeah.
So assuming Chandler Smith is going back to JGR, that's their 2 full-time cars.
Because Creed is leaving, so
Creed's leaving.
Brandon Jones going to get in
Brandon
that
Jones
car.
is taking that car. So unfortunately for Ryan Truex, I'm guessing this doesn't lead to a full-time ride for him. I mean, it's JGR. They could do 3 full-time cars, but it's typically
They don't
2
do that,
full-time,
yeah.
1 rotating, or 2 rotating.
Yeah. We'll see how it shakes out. Other bits of news before we get into the scary one. We'll talk about Martin Truex Jr. Talked about at Media Day for the playoffs that he will be driving in the Daytona 500. Number to be either the 56 or the 78, according to him.
Dude, if we get the 78 with him and Colpern back together,
That'd be
if
awesome.
they don't come
I
out
would
in
rather
a,
the 56.
I know
personally.
you would because it's your number, but give me Martin Truex in a flat black Toyota with 78 on the side of it with Colpern screaming at him on the mic. Are you kidding me? What
I
year is
said
it?
as soon as I saw this posted on Discord, I immediately went, that car is not passing 10. No matter what anyone does. Colpern
absolutely
is
not.
going to cheat the living shit out of that car. They're going to miss the duels.
They're going to show up with a Gen
Or they're
6.
going to miss qualifying and have to start back of the pack in the duels and race their way in. Because Cole Pearn is showing up with literally zero fucks to give.
Yeah.
He's going to leave Daytona Sunday night, fly to Canada, and we're never going to see him again.
Yep.
Why is there a Roadrunner with a 78 on the side of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
Pop the trunk. No. Pop the trunk. No.
no.
Is there a second engine in there?
No.
I'm not telling you. Tungsten butt plug.
tungsten butt plugs. How big is that fuel line? Is that PVC pipe? No.
Can that thing hold an extra gallon of gas, Harry Hog?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. If they do 78, like how cool would it be? I don't even know if anyone
The whole
owns that.
cage is just a nitrous bottle.
I don't know if they own that
want-
font anymore, but just give me the 78 with the correct
We
font
have-
in flat black.
We have Fox at Daytona again, right?
Yes, sir.
I want them to take NBC's lead with the follow the pit crew thing, and I want a camera on Cole Pearn's pit box the entire Daytona 500.
I want the option to pay for it. I want to just watch it.
Give me
That's
the
the
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view
The
event.
pay-per-view is
It's just a ring camera right over him.
over the, and you can
Cole
kind
Pearn fighting with his rent-a-cop pit crew over whether they can use a fucking concrete saw or not.
just for old time's sake, they break out the gas-powered demo.
Cut it
saw.
off. Cole, the car's not even damaged. Cut it off.
I want to feel things again.
So that'll be fun to see. All right, we'll keep moving here. We got a couple other little bits here before we get into the scary one. Rheum Brothers Racing in the news because Frankie Muniz will be driving the 22 at Kansas. So we'll see Frankie back
I didn't
behind
even
the
know that
wheel.
was still a team.
I didn't either.
Yep, driving the
they-
22 truck.
Go.
Hendrick Motorsports made an announcement today that Larson will be attempting the double yet again for 2025.
With
gotta-
extra exclamation points behind, he's going to prioritize the Coke 600 over the Indy 500.
He was on Stacking Pennies this week, and they were talking. Obviously, that was recorded Monday and came out Monday. They couldn't really say that he was doing it, but they were talking about it, and they were asking him. Corey asked him like, what was the opening ceremonies like? And Kyle said that he doesn't even really remember it and didn't really get to soak it in because of the weather, and he was bummed that he was going to miss the start of the 600.
Well,
so he was just kind of
they
like,
fast forwarded
and
a
they
bunch.
expedited it, but also like all the stuff. He's like, I couldn't really soak it in because the situation was crazy with am I going to Charlotte? Am I staying here? I'm gonna miss the start of the 600. That sucks. The whole day's been ruined. So he was like, if I do it again, I'm excited to actually, soak it all in.
Well, the deal he signed originally was always a 2-year deal. I mean, it was an option for the
Yes.
second year, but that was kind of written
You knew
in the beginning. So
you
I'm glad
knew
they
when
picked
he
it up.
didn't get to do the double last year that nothing was stopping.
I mean,
him
he
from
got
doing
out
it
of the
this
car and said, I'm coming back.
year. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, they just set it in stone, confirmed it. He's coming back with Arrow McLaren.
Yep.
Supposedly, there's some sort of deal being worked out for an Xfinity race in Mexico for somebody.
I heard about that too.
So there's rumors that they might trade another driver in the opposite direction
Pato
for
Award and
the Mexico race.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
That'd be super cool. Yeah, super exciting. I mean, I've never paid that much attention to the Indy 500.
Yeah.
This year I was locked in. Next year I will be locked in.
I usually watch it, but you're right. I don't watch it as intently as I did this year. Like it'll be on. It's cool. I love doing the Memorial Day triple, but like I was laser focused this year, especially because I wanted Larson to do good because of all the drama with him missing the 600.
Yeah.
Because if he misses the 600 and then goes out and wrecks on lap 10, it's like
Yeah, I mean, he was running top 10 most of the day, aside from that speeding penalty.
didn't
He
get
would have
this-
finished very well.
he was probably top 5 car if he didn't get that speeding penalty.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think worst 7th.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. So exciting to see that happening. We'll see how that shakes out. What is it, the 25th of May next year?
Is Memorial Day
Something
that
like
early next year?
Yeah, I think it's like the 25th of
It's
May.
gonna be
Hold
May.
please. Hold please. It
Something like that.
is yes. Memorial Day is the 26th. So
Yeah.
that Sunday would be the 25th.
Cool. All right. Now we got some NASCAR news to talk about. We will start with the not so crazy news. We will start with the 3 new shows that NASCAR announced as I continue to tease everybody that we talk about charter stuff. NASCAR drops 3 new shows. NASCAR Daily with Shannon Spake will be Monday through Friday at 10 a.m.
Where?
They're YouTubes.
Oh, okay.
Drop the Jack will be every Thursday on YouTube as well as podcast platforms, and also Inside the Playoffs every Thursday at 7 on True TV
Who's
and
on-
Max.
Who's on Drop the Jack?
There's like 6 people.
Okay.
So
It's a bunch of pit crew guys, I think.
Oh, okay.
yeah, so NASCAR trying to pump out more content, but
Yeah,
I think
I
it's a
Well, and that goes off what
They
we
lost
Race Hub.
Yeah, that
So-
goes off of what we said last week about how NASCAR was looking for people for a new TV channel. Like maybe this is the soft open,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, I get it because Race Hub was such a big show. Like there's a huge production value of Race Hub. Like a lot went into putting on that
Oh, yeah.
show. So like, especially in today's day and age, if they're trying to capture this younger audience, the younger audience is, instant gratification, quick stuff, YouTube, Instagram, Reels, whatever the case is. So, and also like they're going to gravitate towards different personalities because the younger generations, like all these, whatever, influencers,
Yeah.
whatever. So like
TikTokers.
different personalities on different shows. If they kind of spread it out, they'll be able to capture different audiences that, gravitate towards a different host on a different show, whatever.
Well, and I
So-
feel like ever since now, not saying Race Hub was the most popular show ever, especially the last couple of years, but it was always there midweek when something would happen. If
Right.
something, if a penalty happened, if, the Austin Dillon stuff we've been talking about, you're like radio silent from essentially Monday till Thursday, Friday. Because a lot of the podcasts record on Monday. They're like us. They want to react to the race. And then the penalty report comes out on Tuesday. So you've got what? Dale Jr. might touch on it on Tuesday when he records if it's out by then. Mm-hmm. And then the Thursday, the DJD Reloaded show, which he's barely ever on, they might talk about it, but that's it.
Right.
There's no news. And unless you have Sirius, obviously Sirius is going to talk about it, but not everybody has that, So you
Right.
need something to fill that midweek, like, hey, this thing happened. Denny got a engine penalty this week. We have to talk about it. No, instead we had to wait till Friday to hear anything about it.
Yeah,
Like during the practice pre-show.
Yeah, and obviously they put a ton of money into Race Hub. It's not cheap to run a show like that.
No.
It's definitely going to be cheaper to run these 3 smaller shows, if you will, and host them on the internet. So I think it's a smart move, kind of modernizing the way
Yeah.
that they're making coverage of our sport. So I think it's a good thing.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes.
I mean, this is obviously them dipping their toe into this as far as NASCAR wants to eventually have their own channel, their own streaming platform, whatever. So it's cool that they're kind of not letting like NBC or Fox run this. It's NASCAR.
Right.
So they can bring this wherever they want. And they now don't have to worry about as many licensing issues with showing replays of the race and stuff like that. It's just easy for them to do. It's through them. It's probably going to feel just like Race Hub, but with just a little difference to it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I mean, Steve Letarte, is it Sharon Spake?
Shannon.
Shannon Spake and Mamba. So yeah, it's cool. It'll be cool. I mean, it's Steve Letarte. Get that guy in front of the camera as much as we can because I freaking love Steve Letarte.
Who doesn't?
And I love his opinions and how he breaks stuff down. He's
So
like,
smart.
He's like the young Larry Mack.
Yeah,
So-
he really is. Second coming of Larry Mack.
Yeah, I mean, the Inside the Playoffs show from 2 days ago has 10,000 views on it,
Good.
which isn't a lot in YouTube land, but it's still pretty
But
good.
it just started this week.
No, I mean, it's still pretty good when you look
And I mean,
at
they opened with Kyle Busch.
yeah
Get
when you
Chase Elliott on it next week.
when you
How
look
many
at their
views is he
other
gonna get?
videos like race highlights and stuff. I mean, the official race highlights have almost 100,000 views, but yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah.
I think
So, I think it's a good thing.
I think it'll catch on.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and now the last piece of the puzzle, we have to talk about the old business side of this thing.
I don't want to.
I don't want to talk about it at all.
I'm not.
So,
Fortunately for us, they haven't really told us what happened, so we can
It's
just
all-
go off of speculation and a couple quotes.
it's all speculation.
Yeah.
It's literally all it is.
So, I don't want to talk about this whatsoever, but as we've talked about for a year and a half, 2 years.
Well, first it was TV deal.
Yep.
We've been intermixing the two, and it was like, well, let's do the TV deal first, and then we'll figure it out. And then as soon as the TV deal came out, it's just been nothing but bickering back and forth, which I guess you could call that negotiation.
Yeah. A good negotiation, no one's actually happy at the end, but everyone gets things done.
Exactly.
So, allegedly, this is all from stuff that we're hearing from sources and stuff like that. So, whatever. Allegedly, NASCAR sent the teams a final offer at 6 p.m. on Friday.
A 102-page document?
105, if you let
Five.
me finish my sentence. 6 o'clock on Friday, NASCAR sent a 105-page document and said, sign this by midnight, or you can potentially have your charters revoked.
That's a
whether
thing.
it was said that way, whether it was said like that at all, we don't know. This is just what we're going off of from multiple different sources.
I've heard that from that pretty much exactly what you said from at least
Right.
4, 5, 6 different places.
So, giving someone 6 hours to run through 105
So-
pages of a legally binding 7-year document is
According
ridiculous.
from what
First
the
of all.
guys on the teardown were saying, it was a revision of the offer that was given to them last
Right.
week. So
Right.
they were saying, Bianchi said he used the word, it was redlined. So basically it was 102 pages, but
Five.
105 pages, but the parts that had been changed from the offer that they've had for a week were like highlighted. Like
Yeah.
there was like a summary of like, okay, here's
These
the
are the
full
changes.
document, but these are the changes. So they didn't they had already gone through. They had like a week to go through the 105 pages, but then it was
It was the
changes.
revisions.
It's the
yeah.
revisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're right. If it was a brand new 105 pages, you ain't going through that in
Yeah.
6 hours.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because, obviously this has gone back and forth countless times. So I'm sure multiple sections like, yeah, we're good with that one.
Yeah.
Pages 1 through 25 were good.
Huge fan of the appetizer. Not a big fan of the dessert though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
So all but 2 teams have officially signed that document, those 2 teams being 2311 and Front Row Motorsports.
That was surprising to me. The second one.
From what it sounds like, 2311 is still holding out because they think they can get a better deal. From what it sounds like, Front Row Motorsports is simply holding out to review the document in its entirety, saying they didn't have enough time, which I completely understand.
That's 100%.
If you want to double check, because it sounds like NASCAR has tried to sneak things in each revision, like different. Oh, you can't talk shit about us.
Yeah.
So I can certainly understand as a race team wanting to, cross your T's, dot your I's kind of thing and double check everything. And you want to have enough time, not from 6 p.m. to midnight on a Friday.
Yeah.
That's a dick move, first of all.
Of a race weekend, so half your team's at the track.
Yeah. Like, hey, lawyer, remember it's that 5 o'clock on Friday when you wanted to sign off and have a bourbon? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Here's 105 pages to fucking review.
It's
That sucks.
It's kind of ridiculous, and this is where a lot of the terms we've been hearing have come from. The gun to the head, the coerced or whatever. There's been a lot of
Forced.
forced. There's
Bullied,
been a lot
I
of
think was the last thing somebody said. They bullied them
bullied.
into signing it.
You know, this is old NASCAR if that's the case. I mean, this is how it was in the Bill France days, junior and senior. It was this is my rodeo. You're my clowns.
exactly.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is there were only 2 holdouts.
Yeah,
That's not enough leverage.
So they were taught.
Yeah.
They went deep on this on the teardown, and they both had different opinions on like what the overall reach is, because they were both like, "What is the end game?" Because if 13 teams already signed it, they're not going to give 2311 a better deal. Like it's done.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. Like, I certainly understand 2311 trying to stand up for the whole class, if you will. But if everybody else has signed it, you're screwed.
And this is
You're not getting anything.
Right. The only leverage they have is Michael Jordan could leave.
Well, no, there's Jeff Gluck brought up a really good point that I didn't even think of, and I was like, I'm in the car like, God damn, he's right. And this is where the Jordan effect and what's the other guy that owns 2311, his like right
Curtis
hand
Polk.
man, yeah, him, Curtis Polk. Those are guys that have been doing business with sports stuff for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like they're used to getting their way.
Yeah, very successfully.
So what this could turn into is if, let's say they, the current charter deal ends on December 31st at midnight. January 1st, 2025 rolls around. 2311 no longer has charters. They take NASCAR to court. What is NASCAR going to have to do in federal court?
Disclose their dollars.
Open the books. NASCAR does not want to open the books. Denny's said that many times. It's well known that they're a private company for a reason. They don't want people. That's why they folded ISC in, so we don't know how much the tracks make.
Yeah. I heard that on the teardown as well, but they're not 100% right. They don't have to open
It
the
could
books.
turn into that, though.
It could. They would have to bring a case ironclad enough to force NASCAR to have their books looked at.
True.
Which is not going to happen. It's a privately owned company. You're an independent contractor, if you will. You
are.
have these charters that allow you to show up every week and you get a bigger piece of the pie. Well, that charter negotiation, it ends. You signed that deal, and that deal ended, what? How long was this agreement? 7 years, 8 years?
It ends on December 31st.
Yeah, but they signed it 7 years ago, and it expires. You chose not to.
Yep.
They don't have a leg to stand on. Oh, NASCAR makes more money. They should give us more money. Why? Like, a judge is going to go, why?
Yeah.
Well, because we deserve more. Why?
Yeah.
You know, we want to see what they make so we can make sure that we're getting the right piece of the pie. Why?
But
There's no justification
No, you're
for
right.
forcing NASCAR to say, here's how much money we make.
But if there is ever a group of people that could come up with a case,
Oh,
it's Jordan and his people.
100%. If they want to fight that battle.
Exactly. And I have a feeling, I mean, we all know, we've all watched the Jordan documentaries and shit, that man loves his money and he's ruthless about it.
And he doesn't like to lose.
He does not,
Which
like
is
to
the
lose.
scariest
He took
part.
that personally.
Yeah. Yes.
And Jeff brought up a good point too. Does NASCAR want the headlines on January 5th to be NASCAR takes $100 million in charters from Michael Jordan?
No.
And then the next headline is Michael Jordan sues NASCAR in federal court?
Right. It all depends on how dirty they want to fight.
Exactly. And I see Jordan and Curtis Polk, even Denny, because he thinks he's Jordan. He's like,
Denny will gas them up and 100%. Denny would be on board 100% to take this all the way to the grave.
until
but
that
He will
Does Joe
burn
Gibbs stand
every
for that,
bridge
though?
on the way. What?
Does Joe Gibbs stand for that?
No.
true.
No.
Denny gets fired in all of this.
Gibbs signed the deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Denny didn't.
Somebody else said that too. That
Denny has nothing to lose.
All the words.
Right, but he could lose his job. You start suing the sanctioning body, all of a sudden your owner, who now works for the sanctioning body, is
Yeah,
not
I don't
gonna
think
be a fan
those.
of that.
I don't think those necessarily correlate
I could see it though. Maybe.
because he has two separate deals. His deal with Joe Gibbs is not the ownership deal on the 2311 side. So this, like we'd always talk about there being two different Dennys.
Yeah.
Denny, the driver, is fine. His charter's renewed. He's
Yeah. I
he's
feel like
good to get back
that-
in the race car.
That's definitely going to mix, though. There's no way that.
Oh
doesn't-
yeah, it's
that
gonna
doesn't
get
very
ugly.
deep.
I think this.
It's just a matter of how ugly they want this to get.
That's the thing. This could probably go. This could go away in a week for all we know, or this could be dragged on all winter long.
I mean,
and get
DBC
ugly.
speculated that Front Row could be using this as an opportunity to be like, you know what, screw it and just sell. Like Front Row, that they just got Noah Gragson, their third car's unannounced. They're making huge steps in the right direction. Yeah, well, maybe they didn't like the deal and they're sitting on $90 million worth of charters. They could just be like, who wants them?
Yeah,
They
my
could sell.
question is, if they don't sign this, does NASCAR have to buy out their charters? I believe
don't
they
think
do.
so.
On
I
DBC,
thought they
they
just took
said
them.
that. But
I-
I'm like, I don't, because they're telling Denny they're going to confiscate his charters or you lose your
You're
charters.
revoking them. I thought.
I believe they have to pay them out on market rate. So
If
whatever the
that's
most
true-
recent sale is, I believe they would have to pay them out
Which is
and
whatever
take them
Front Row paid.
20 to 25.
or
Yeah,
whoever.
probably.
Did, well, what's the most recent one? Trackhouse.
Spire paid 40.
Well, wouldn't Trackhouse be
But-
the most recent one? The SVG, which we don't know what they spent for that.
Yeah.
They said the Front Row Motorsports one was somewhere between 20 and 25. So my guess
Ballpark.
we'll call it 25.
Yep.
So let's say, they have to buy out 2311 for 50 million and Front Row for 75 million. I mean, Airspeed, we're not allowed to call it their race shop. Airspeed is worth a hell of a lot more money than that.
But
Well, it's not going to
could
be a
you-
race shop next year. It's going to be a souvenir stand.
Could you also see 2311 running open? Because, well, that's something else they were talking about. Michael Jordan's worth how much? If it's to prove a point and not lose, instead of shutting everything down, he shows up open. What do you lose? Would they say it's like a $5 million hit if you don't have a charter?
Yeah, something like that.
In purses and all that stuff. But obviously, they're still going to have sponsorship money. They're still going to have all that rolling in.
They got plenty of that.
They got plenty of
right, but
sponsorship
do
money.
they keep their drivers? Is Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick going to hang around if their cars no longer have charters?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be money out of Jordan's pocket and Denny's pocket to pay them to race that NASCAR's no longer paying them through the charters.
True.
So,
true.
I mean, this is like completely unheard of territory. This is nothing we've ever seen before. So it's all speculation. And I mean, worst case scenarios and stuff like that. So
Well,
I just don't know, unless they're going to court, what holding out is going to get them, because they're not
That's
going to
the
get a
question.
separate deal from everybody else.
No.
You just had 4 or 5 billionaires sign this deal.
Well-
You think Denny Hamlin's going to change their mind?
And that's the big thing I heard somewhere. I forget where I heard it, but they, obviously the stark language of the or forced gun to the head, whatever.
I mean,
I don't think
somebody just
NASCAR
posted a-
held a gun to Richard Childress and Rick Hendrick and Penske's head. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
they got to the point, like you said, in a negotiation, you're not going to get everything you want. If both sides got everything they want, nothing would ever get done. So they looked at it and said, you know what? Good enough. We're done.
Yeah.
And it's always been Denny, and, Denny is obviously the face of it in our world. We don't hear from Jordan directly on this stuff. Denny has always been the most vocal about all of this. He's been like the spearhead. He's been the thorn in NASCAR's side. This whole thing, he gets on his podcast and just
hops
kind
on
of-
his
and then-
soapbox.
And then what's his name? Help me. The other guy.
Polk. Curtis.
Wears the fucking sign to the track at Darlington or Daytona, whatever that was. Like, they are the problem child. I feel like the other teams were just like, yeah, you know what? That's good enough for us. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Denny's
Fryer-
talking a lot of shit. He doesn't stand for all of us. Like, for a long time, I thought Denny was being kind of like the spokesman for everybody. Everybody was on board behind Denny. And now it's, shit or get off the pot time. And all the other guys are like, you know what? We're good. You can get sacrifice yourself. See you later, bro.
So I mean, this is all speculation, unfortunately, and we don't know. And what I'm surprised is that NASCAR has still not made a statement, because
Yes.
NASCAR sent it to him, said, "Hey, sign this by midnight or die," and they didn't.
In 2311 and front row, both, I think front row.
And
released a
now
statement.
no one's talking about Atlanta. No one's talking about the playoffs. No one's talking about NASCAR's product. They're talking about those guys haven't signed
a
it.
legal battle and
Yeah.
money.
And it sucks. You know who suffers the most? The fans.
Yep.
Yeah. I know Trackhouse made a statement. Justin Marks said that.
Yes.
He signed it because it was best for Trackhouse and Trackhouse's future.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if specifically they got rid of that 3 charter clause to kind of make it so that was one of the things they might have changed. I'm guessing, because Trackhouse, I feel like, would be the number one standout. Be like, listen, I don't need to be held down with you.
We
with
have
the charters
we have
we're gonna
14 drivers waiting
Yeah.
for seats. Like,
I mean, Jenna Fryer posted Rick Hendrick on why he signed the NASCAR charter agreement. I was just tired, is what Rick Hendrick said.
yeah, they were all sick of it. They just want to be
they
done
were
with
sick
it.
of fighting. But it's just, you have Rick Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, Roger Penske, Gene Haas,
Richard Childress.
Richard Childress, that's the 5th one. These are like 5 billionaires.
Those are the powerhouses of NASCAR.
And if these guys agreed to it, it couldn't have been that bad of a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
But the richest one didn't.
Is he the richest?
Yeah.
Jordan, dude, he's worth.
Yeah.
He's worth $3.5 billion. I think
That's
I read.
it.
Yeah, I think I read that he's worth $3.5 billion.
Look up probably
know.
Penske.
I
I think Penske would be the most.
Yeah. Penske or Gene Haas?
I would say Penske.
6.2. So that's twice of Jordan almost.
Gene's worth twice Jordan?
No, that's Roger.
Oh, Roger. Woof.
Gene's is not readily available for me right now.
Rick is like 1.
Yeah, cool.
One.
Yeah, friggin'
So,
Jordan.
Roger
Jordan's
Penske.
3.2. Damn.
I don't know how old this is. This says Gene Haas is only worth $250 million.
That
This
can't
has
be
to
right.
be hella old.
Yeah, it's not true. Anyway, let's keep moving. We'll start talking about races. So we'll see how this all shakes out. I hate to have to talk about it, but the business side is
We are not done with this by
what
any
keeps
stretch.
it rolling. Yeah, so we'll keep
A
things
couple
going.
more other little driver things. Connor Daly has a few truck races with Nice coming up. So super cool. We all
Excellent.
like Connor. Eric
He's okay.
Almirola making his triumphant return to JGR this weekend at Watkins Glen.
He was back a couple weeks ago.
Was he Indy? Did he come back
Yeah.
for Indy? All right. So I didn't know if this
Triumphant
was his-
return again?
Yeah, I didn't know if this was his first one back or
No,
not.
second.
And then what everyone's been talking about all week, Alex Bowman, DBC pretty much came out and said that they know for certain that Alex Bowman will not be back in the 48 car next year. And Rick Hendrick posted or said today in an interview that he is unequivocally going to be in the 48 next year. So that shut up all the rumors because everyone's been talking all week about how he's getting fired, how he's going to race for Spire next year. And then Jeff was wishy-washy with his responses Well, the guy whose name's on the car said that he will
Yeah, there's-
100% be back.
Yeah, there's been certain people on our Discord that won't let it go.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see him back on the 48.
I love
Same.
Alex. I've grown to love Hendrick Motorsports, and I want him to be there forever. So it was
He's
super
just-
cool to see that Rick Hendrick is like, no, that's our boy.
Yeah, Bowman is. I love all the things that Hendrick's been putting out on socials, like when they're reading each other's tweets, and 90% of them are Bowman's because they're just dumb.
Yeah.
And the video of him at Media Day with
Oh
Suarez,
my God, that
Him
was
and
the
Suarez,
best.
the one with him and Larson.
the one with Larson was
When
awesome.
they
Did you see
got-
that one?
They got the
the
NASCAR
autograph.
intern with the most zero charisma I've ever seen in my entire life. Did
Yeah.
you watch that whole video?
The Larson one?
No, the whole NASCAR picture thing.
No.
They were given pictures, pretty much every driver at the playoff media day. They had a piece of paper with a picture that was an embarrassing picture of that driver on it.
Yeah.
Like Joey Logano, it was him making a weird face somewhere. Christopher Bell is when he was fucking 12 and he met Joey Logano. Like just a bunch of old random
They
pictures.
stole that recently. I saw an NFL team recently do that where they had an intern walking around the locker room
Yeah.
with old Facebook pictures. And they're like, Can you sign this? And like, where'd you get this? So,
Yeah, and they did that, but the dude that they had doing it,
dry.
I mean-
just
hey, Christopher Bell, I found this picture. Or can you sign this?
ugh.
Yeah. Turn it over. Oh, we just dug it up. And it was like just completely
Cringy,
dry.
just cringy.
And then they get Bowman, and somehow he gets a Larson picture. And Bowman's like, oh, hold on. And he starts scribbling on it, like, I love AB48 on it. And he draws a mustache
Yeah.
on little Larson. And he goes, can I go ask him to sign this? And they're like, I guess so. And he goes in and he goes up to like the guy standing at the door who I'm sure is like directing all
Yes.
the interviews or whatever. And he goes, hey, will it be good content if I go up and interrupt his interview right now? And they're like, yes.
I love
Please do
The
that.
part about that was when Bowman walks up and he looked like a scared kid. He just like walked up and just
Will you
like
sign
held
this
it
for
out.
me?
He's like, will you sign this for me?
Yeah.
And Larson's just like, what the fuck?
Will you personalize it so I don't
so I
sell
don't
it?
So I don't sell it on eBay.
Did you see that Larson goes to my biggest fan, Alexa?
He wrote Alexa.
He wrote Alexa on it.
Dude,
I love when Bowman walks away. He goes, yes.
yes. But the Bowman Suarez interaction was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to bid him up so he doesn't get it. I'm going to bid him. Like, I love that they're just car guys. It's
That's
just,
awesome.
It's the best. That whole interview with Moody, I didn't listen to the whole thing,
Yeah.
but that clip that was out, like, how many is too many? And Bowman's just like, 17. And Moody's
I
like,
have 17.
All right, that's a lot. That might be too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how like
was great.
Suarez is just like the in shop old Volkswagen or in.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone just goes up to him if anyone is interested in any sort of air cooled anything. They're just like,
Somebody call
Suarez,
Daniel.
help me. Like
Daniel?
Bubba's posted a couple of videos. Like he has a cool old Slam Beetle. Bubba does, and he posts a video. Goes, I needed to call my mechanic, and it's Suarez rolling into his driveway in a bus. He's like, all right, amigo, what do you need help with? And he's like,
I love
he's
it.
like, I had to call the mechanic, and I had
Yeah.
a problem.
I love
Yeah.
it. All the media day coverage was awesome.
It really was. We didn't get Brad sleeping this year, which would bum me
No,
out.
I
No.
missed the class photos.
Yes.
They don't do that anymore. They just Photoshop it. The class photos were always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last few were at Indy because that was the end of the regular season or something. I don't know why they took the pictures at Indy.
Also, Joe Spinelli in the chat. Your boy needs to grow his facial hair back because it's concerning.
Huh?
I also didn't appreciate how that was like
Chastain.
a news story.
Yeah,
They
it was,
like made a big deal about Chastain shaving.
it was uncomfortable looking.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He shaved off his playoff beard because he didn't make the playoffs.
Between the
that's a good
between
point.
no beard and the eye looking three different directions, he's a shift.
Oh, leave his eyes alone.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I'll never
Yeah, they
forget.
leave each other alone. They won't even look at each other.
Jesus. All right, let's do this.
That one time he was in the booth for a race and he looked like the camera's up when they're doing the booth interviews and he looks at the camera and they weren't looking at the camera.
Aw, leave
I
him
almost
alone.
jumped out of the living room.
All right, let's get into Hot Atlanta. Yeah, Joe in the chat, he's watching you. Yeah, from any angle in the room.
Yeah.
All right, we will start with the Focused Health 250 Xfinity race. For those following along, Xfinity is not in the playoffs as of yet, to confuse everybody.
So stupid.
They do not have a round of 16. They start at the round of 12, so people are still fighting for their playoff hopes. AJ Allmendinger kicked off that race from the rear after some unapproved adjustments, but Jesse Love and Taylor Gray led the field to green. I mean, overall, a pretty good race, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't super exciting. This is kind of the curse of the Xfinity series.
is they keep bringing these weird packages to tracks. I know a lot of people complain about that early on.
Michigan was
They're
one
like,
of
they
bad.
showed like an Atlanta circle, and they're like, list of things that'll happen at Atlanta. Like Xfinity shows up with the wrong package. Xfinity has a boring race. Cup shows up with a good car, has a crazy race, restart. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so unfortunately, the package just kind of resulted in like single car, couldn't really build runs. Like it was pretty lackluster for most of the race.
And very like it was like it almost looked like the old tandem days where there was like multiple packs of racing.
Yep.
Like the front pack got strung out, 30 cars out. It was weird to watch in certain points, but Ryan Sieg early on coasts to a stop, fighting for his playoff berth there. Don't know what the hell happened there, but that was down early. Good finish to the first stage. Photo finish, if you will, with Justin
Kinda looked
Allgaier and
like
Austin Hill.
Looked like old Atlanta for a second there.
Yeah. This track is aging and changing every time
Literally
we go.
Every single time we've come in 2 years, so 4 times now, every single race has been completely like Xfinity and Cup.
Yeah, it's much less super speedway and much more handling.
They
based.
said it during the Cup race that it is turned, like Burton said it. He goes, this looks like a Daytona race from the mid-90s where
And I
Yeah,
called-
that's
I
a good
called
way to
that
put
right
it.
Away.
Yeah.
Like the second race when they came back and the asphalt had dropped from black to like almost light gray.
Yep.
I was like, dude, this track's going to age so fast. It's going to be like 90s Daytona.
Yep.
Straight away runs.
Where
single car.
where
like, it's gonna be
handling
cool.
matters. It's not just
And there's actual tire wear.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, I just don't think they brought the right package again. But we didn't get too much further into that when we saw Sam Mayer burst into flames.
Yeah, that was a not clear moment.
Yep. Got into it with Taylor Gray and the back end of Sam Mayer's car, lights on fire, bringing out a caution. Ending the second stage with AJ Allmendinger taking that second stage. I don't know if I said it, but Justin Allgaier held off Austin Hill for the first stage in that photo finish that we were talking about.
Yes.
yeah, the Sam Mayer incident was kind of weird. Did you hear the spotter comms?
No.
The spotter's like, all right, outside, it's on you. Like, as in, like, you decide if you're clear or not.
That's weird.
It was super weird. Like, he pretty much told him to clear himself, and he did, and he hit the wall.
yeah.
So
That's weird.
They were talking about it on the broadcast. It was just one of those things. It's like in the next gens, I could almost see that being a thing
With the camera.
rear cameras
Yeah.
being as good as they are. But in the Xfinity car, he kind of just told him to clear himself.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a weird call to make.
Yeah. Towards the end of the race, I want to say with 20 or so to go, give or take, we have the Justin Allgaier Cole Custer incident that Dan and I were actually reviewing just before we hopped on here.
Yeah, it looked like they were coming down the backstretch. It looked like Allgaier went to side draft Cole. They made a little bit of contact, and it looked like when they went in the corner that Allgaier's left or right front went down. You watched it live. I don't know.
So
It looked like his
this
right front
was
went down.
Very similar to what was that? Las Vegas with Hill and Cole Custer.
Yes.
Remember when Hill's like, he blew my tire, and
Yeah.
Hill just drove straight into the corner? This looked very similar to that because in every single camera angle, the tire looks completely up, but the car acted like it had a
It
flat
went dead
tire.
straight. Yeah.
Like, I almost think he almost got arrow loose or something
Maybe.
going into the corner because he was entering so much higher than normal. I mean, it's very possible. It's Justin Allgaier. I believe damn near everything he says, but I just saw nothing in that showed me a flat tire, but the car definitely acted like it had a flat tire. Super unfortunate. Took out a bunch of cars.
Bunch of fast
red
cars,
flagged
too.
for 30 minutes almost.
15.
15. So it red flagged for 15
We had an
minutes.
Xfinity car trying to be a sprint car with a wing
Yeah,
on the roof.
that was super funny.
Holy shit,
I
that was
have
funny.
no idea what that thing was stuck on because the Xfinity cars at Atlanta should have a passenger window.
Yep.
So it's not like it was wedged in the window.
It was
somehow.
stuck on the antenna.
Yeah, it was super weird. They were
Roof
joking.
cam, maybe?
Yeah, it was. It
maybe.
was almost like it was stuck on the A pillar on the passenger side.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe it was in a NACA duct. Somehow it kind of spliced into it. But
Yeah, could.
Could have got stuck
I mean, it
somewhere.
could have just
yeah.
been error.
Yeah, so Justin Allgaier got into Custer. Taylor Gray gets into it. Riley Herbst gets into it. Ryan Sieg, Jesse Love as well. So big mess on that one. And then we have a race to the finish.
Yeah, which was kind of shitty, unfortunately.
Austin Hill doing Austin Hill things.
Yeah, just did his best Chase Elliott impression in turn 2.
I mean, he goes. Who was it was
So it was
Heim
Corey
coming
Heim
up.
to his outside in the sponsorless Sam Hunt Racing car,
That was a surprise.
which I was shocked. I thought for sure it's Sam Hunt Racing. People keep acting like they're an underprivileged, underfunded team, and I feel like they've been strong. They just haven't got that win yet. But the drama with the final restart is that the battle was between.
What?
You just like snapped your head at
Oh
me
no,
like I said
no, I
something
didn't.
crazy.
No, I didn't. I was just looking at your pretty face.
Stop it. The drama with the final restart is the drama we had at Daytona 2 weeks ago, which is Sam Hunt's 26 car, driven by Corey Heim, is a Toyota. And Chandler Smith, who was on the inside of the front row, was a Toyota. Corey Heim did not push the other
Yeah,
Toyota.
he hung him out to
He
dry.
pushed the 21 Chevy car to the lead when Chandler Smith was making a move to his inside. So the drama there is Chandler Smith gets out of the car and complains that the Toyota teammates didn't help him. And he kept using the word teammates. When they are not teammates, they just race for the same manufacturer.
Manufacturer mates.
And it seems like Sam Hunt Racing does not get that much help from Joe Gibbs Racing.
No.
So Chandler Smith fails to clear the 21. The 26 pushes the 21 past the 26, or past the 81.
81.
Jesus Christ. And takes the white flag, goes off into turn one. Corey Heim in the 26 has a massive run on Austin Hill. I think he plays it perfectly and gets to his outside. Now, he is as high as you could possibly go. Unfortunately for him, Austin Hill thinks he's Rowdy Burns. And he just
I know Corey. He always goes to the outside.
and he just drifts up the track and just walls the absolute crap
Dude, he
out of the
just
26.
cleared himself up like he wasn't there and smoked him into the fence.
But you're clearing yourself up into a lane that you normally would not be driving in. So you can't just say, "Oh, I thought I was clear." You're only going up there for one reason.
Yeah.
And it's
To pinch
to
him.
impede the 26 car.
It's
in a
Austin-
form of wrecking him.
Austin Hill doing Austin Hill things.
And unfortunately, I say this unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan, but Austin Hill clears him, shoots off to the victory
Yep, unharmed.
Uncontested.
Fought. Yeah,
Yeah.
uncontested.
He always he gets away with it all the time. He puts people in compromising positions or just flat out wrecks them.
And everyone's comparing this to Corey LaJoie and Chase Elliott a couple years ago here.
Yep.
Very, very similar.
And where was the one
and
where
we
Chase,
all-
where was the opposite of that? That when Chase was going outside of Larson and Larson came, was that like Vegas
I
or
think
Fontana?
that was Fontana.
Yeah, that was Fontana. You're right.
That was
yeah.
that Fontana race where everyone was blowing left rear
Yes.
tires. Because it was a dust storm.
Yep.
And Chase Elliott was Tokyo drifting it on the apron with
Yep.
like 4 broken toe links somehow.
Yep.
But yeah, it's everyone's comparing it to Corey LaJoie, Chase
Yes.
Elliott because it's very similar. And we all stood up for Corey LaJoie and said he made the right move. Chase Elliott just gave him no chance. In that corner, Corey Heim was half a car further up than
Yes.
Corey LaJoie ever got.
Yep.
And I mean, Austin Hill just drove him into the fence.
Yep.
Unfortunate for Corey Heim. Would have been his first Xfinity win, would have been Sam Hunt Racing's first Xfinity win. He's not eligible for the playoffs, so it doesn't harm his season.
But still.
But that says a lot for you. I guess DBC brought it up. It's weird being able to listen to that before we record, but I guess there's like a deep-seated hatred between Corey Heim and Joe Gibbs Racing. Similar to Sam Mayer and Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yep.
They're like, those two guys are like on their blacklist. They will never drive for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yep.
Because of Ty coming up through ARCA and K&N with those two.
Yep.
They hated each other the entire way.
Interesting.
So unfortunately for Corey Heim, SHR is damn near the highest in the Toyota ladder he can go
Yeah.
because he's blacklisted from JGR. So they were saying there's a little bit deeper in there as well. Why he wouldn't have helped the 81 is he's not going to push a JGR car to the win because he hates JGR and JGR hates him. But Austin Hill sails it off to a victory. It was cool to see him win because Bennett dumped a bunch of money into this weekend. They sponsored the pole award for both races.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
They had cool little pole award trophies with, it kind of looked like a little midi flag.
Yep.
But it had a tractor trailer truck on it, like a little toy trailer truck on the bottom
Yep.
of it.
That's cool.
So he parked it in the grass right on top of the Bennett logo, which is cool. Very frowned upon, though. He did donuts in the grass on
You
Saturday.
don't do that on Saturday.
You can't do that. It's against the rules.
Don't do that on Saturday
But yeah, Austin Hill wins his 9 millionth race at Atlanta
by wrecking somebody.
by doing Austin Hill things and just walling somebody and getting out of the car like a hero.
Yep.
So Austin Hill takes a checkered flag, followed by our boy, Mr. Parker Kligerman. AJ Allmendinger, Chandler Smith, Corey Heim saves a top 5 finish. Jesse Love, Sammy Smith, Josh Williams, Brandon Jones, and Ryan Truex wrap up your top 10. And an honorable mention I'm going to give to Kyle Weatherman for starting 37th and finishing 11th.
Yeah, good
Great run.
Yeah, not bad in that 91.
Races that drivers needed. AJ Allmendinger needed a top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't win a ticket at a deli right now. Josh Williams, top 10. Same thing. He needed a good race. At the end, I was like, oh, God, if they all wreck each other. Josh Williams is right there, but he seems like he lost some spots in that final restart. Ryan Truex, he was nowhere to be seen all day. So cool of him to scrape together a top 10. So a little bit of diversity in the top 10 of the Xfinity race, mostly because of that Allgaier wreck.
That Allgaier wreck took out a bunch of people.
5 of the favorites, I'd say. So cool to see. Unfortunate that it was an Austin Hill win, but hey, it is what it is.
Yep, absolutely. So let's move on to Sunday. The Quaker State 400, available at Walmart.
Walmart comes up later.
So does the Quaker State.
No, it doesn't. Comes down.
Comes down, actually.
It was facing up.
What goes up
Will
must
come down.
Roll back. That's a throwback.
They
That's
still
a
do that?
Yo, that's a throw. That's exactly what happened. The smiley face went when the sign fell.
Roll back.
Roll back.
Little pre-race drama with Mr. Denny Hamlin being wildly off the pace. Allegedly had some plug wire issues.
Thought it was a protest.
I thought it was too.
I 100% when he goes out there and everything is fine, he's got his hand up against the window to block
He's
air.
2 seconds
and
off the
he's
pace.
going 142 miles an hour on his qualifying lap. I was like, oh, this motherfucker, dude. He's like straight up being like, fuck you, NASCAR. You don't want to give me my charters? Look at what of your top charters is doing right now. It's going last. And then he sucked the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently didn't they go around and change all the plug wires on like all the Gibbs
3 out of
cars?
4, yeah.
Didn't touch bells. They did MTJ and Ty Gibbs.
Yep.
So 3 of the 4 Gibbs cars starting at the rear for the plug wire changes.
Yep.
Just how Denny likes it.
Front row. Nice. Nice.
Throwback.
Roll back.
Our boy, Mr. Front Row McDowell over here, choosing the inside against Mr. Ryan Blaney on the outside.
Hold on, I wanted to bring that up.
Oh, John Stairs in the chat. What's up, buddy?
What happened?
Go buy some merch.
Was it I thought front row locked out the front row. Oh wait, no, Blaney. Sorry.
No, they
I'm
did.
done.
I think they did initially.
Yes, and then Blaney
the
came
round
in
of 10.
Yep. Okay,
Blaney
you're right.
beat
You're right.
Who's Frump Nation?
I have no idea, but apparently his dad says hi.
Hi, Dad.
G'day, Frump Nation Senior.
It's not. That's Blanca.
Blocker.
Bow, bow, bow. Yeah. So, what do you think? Stage 1.
I don't know.
I think Michael McDowell brought one of those mid-2000s Hendrick cars to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Super fast in qualifying. God damn, you suck everywhere
Well,
else.
didn't he? He led like the first
He
30
ran-
laps, didn't he?
Yeah, but then he was gone. He
Yeah,
never
true.
came back.
All right. Still got me the win.
It was quickly a Penske Hendrick race.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I mean, really the only talking point for stage 1 is Kyle Larson's absolutely
Oh my God.
demolishing the
that
wall.
was
scary.
That was scary as hell.
Wow.
So
Just
he talked
tried
about
to
it.
knock that thing down.
He talked about it on Stacking Pennies. Basically, just got himself in a bad arrow spot behind the 2 and the 12, and just lost it. He said he went in the corner, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm getting loose," and he put a little bit of wheel in it, and it just hooked and whoop,
That
right
was,
up the track.
I think that was after the fact, too. I
Yeah.
think he reviewed it a couple times. And
Yeah.
went, that's what
because
happened.
he came on the radio, was like, "Did I blow a tire?"
Yeah, because at first he goes, it just turned right.
Yeah.
Like he thought something broke.
That was unbelievable. that-
Violent.
And he said that the second hit when Briscoe hit him was worse than I think he said his mouthpiece registered. What was it, like 42
43
Gs,
Gs
43
when he hit the
Gs when he hit the
wall.
wall. And he said that the Briscoe hit was worse because it was 10 seconds
Yeah,
later. he
you're
didn't expect
kind of
it.
relaxed. You're kind of going like, holy shit, that was crazy. And then,
Bah!
pow.
Yeah, surprise.
pow.
Yeah, he just piled in.
And I think-
insert ARCA break joke
Well,
here.
they said Corey had said it, or I think one of them said it on Stacking Pennies, that it looked like he obviously when he smashes the front like that, fluids everywhere, and you can see Briscoe's on the brakes. There's smoke pouring out the front, but it looked like he didn't slow down at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he got in some oil.
Yeah,
or
he
some,
kind of just went I think Carteropoulos said it. Aim for the smoke. They won't be there when you get there.
Yeah, he pulled the
was
Days of
still
Thunder.
there.
He
was
pulled the
still
Days
there.
of Thunder. You're supposed to aim for the smoke.
Did you hear what Briscoe said, though? He said his pedal box came through the floor.
He said the pedals, the brake and the clutch pedal went through the floor. He's like, I don't know how my legs aren't messed up.
So I think that's a case of like the left front tire got pushed into the firewall and kind of did some damage.
That
That was a scary
That was
wreck.
scary. I didn't even know Briscoe was in it until
Same.
like the third replay. They're
Same.
like, hey, there's a second car.
Yeah, I mean that's just he hit him so hard, and like I said, one of the angles you can see it. He's on the brakes. There is smoke pouring off all four wheels, but it looked like it was gaining speed.
Yeah.
if you're in oil
Yeah,
and
like
coolant.
out-
Yeah,
roll
like
like
it turns into
Kansas.
ice, basically.
Yeah,
Slides straight through it.
Larson's wreck looked very similar to, remember Noah? I think it was the first time we came to the new Atlanta
Yeah.
when he was in
Yes.
the 42 car.
You know
He
what
might
else
have been in the Beard car at the time.
You know what else it reminded me of too was the first time we went to Fontana with the next gens, the Chastain in practice.
Oh, yep. Very
Remember
similar.
how hard he hit? Same thing. It got a little loose. He overcorrected it and just right up the hill into the fence. That was a scary hit. And if it's 20 years ago with no safer barriers, that's
Right. And you got to think they put that second spoiler on the rear, or like that second shark fin down the rear window. That was suspected to help situations like this, where it kind of packs a little air in that right rear when you're spinning.
Yeah,
I wonder if that maybe had something to play in it.
that was such a hit though. Ugh.
Happened so fast. Unfortunately, brought an end to stage one. Huge stage for some guys who needed some points, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Blaney taking that stage, followed by his teammate Austin Cendric, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., and Ty Gibbs, a couple non-playoff drivers in that first stage. But some great points for the Penske boys.
Yep.
Put on a show today. We had a lot of issues on pit road on Sunday, huh?
Oh, my God. I think the
Yeah.
spotters took the day off, to be honest.
Yeah, what happened?
So the first one was between the 45 and Hocevar, correct?
Yep.
That was, I can't remember if the 45 had a problem or if that was just bad timing,
Bad timing.
but he just came out and just cleaned out the 77 to the point where the 77 had to go back around.
Yep.
And that's one of those situations where that's all crew chief. The crew chief calls you out of your box. Like the spotters can't, I don't think the spotters react fast enough for pit road. So it's usually on the crew chiefs and their timing. All right, this guy just pulled in, so he's going to be half a second behind us. So we're going to have a clear out. And this guy's coming down, but he's going this mile an hour, so we should be good. Like that's all crew chief, and they call you out, and they're supposed to be the ones that tell you outside, inside, whatever. And the 77, that's just, you got to know he's going to be pitting two cars in front of you.
Right.
And that just, it screwed all three of them because I think Bell was stuck in the middle of all that. I think Bell was the car in between them. So that screwed them. And then the big one later was Corey LaJoie, Chase Elliott, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.,
Yep.
which that's once again, Corey LaJoie said it on his podcast. It's like the crew chief, I'm pretty sure Sparks just said clear out, which clear out means go all the way to the grass. You're clear. And he goes, there's two cars to my outside. I had no idea they were there.
Yeah.
Which that is, people are going to, once again, harp on the Corey LaJoie bandwagon of he sucks. Look, he just hit two cars on pit road, but that's all spotters. You can't look out your right side window to know there's cars there. So your crew chief and your spotter need to be working together. And like they said, it's typically crew chief that directs you on pit road. And that was just a complete fumble on their part. Luckily, it didn't seem like it damaged any of the three cars all that bad. I think Chase said his steering wheel was off a little bit. But that's just straight up on the crew chief at that point.
Yeah. 100%.
And that started, I think, it messed the timing up because I think Chase or somebody had trouble getting out of their pit stall. So it kind of messed up the timing. I think Chase might have had to check up for another car. And so that might have changed it. But it's just a super tight pit road. Everyone's pitting at the same time. I know Denny Hamlin, who went to the wrong track or something, was pitting a lap after intentionally because he knew it was going to be a hornet's nest and they're so far back, doesn't matter. So a lot of guys were choosing to pit after the fact because pit road's such a clusterfuck at that track.
Yeah, for sure. Not a whole lot to talk about for stage 2 either. Fairly clean overall. I mean, you got the Justin Haley blocking Tyler Reddick thing.
Yep. Yeah, there was a couple below the yellow line infractions that kind of got ignored and kind of dismissed, which was unfortunate because that's a rule that should be held very strictly.
Yeah. But yeah, that brings us to the end of stage 2. Austin Cindric getting some big points on the day. I'm sure a lot of people did not have him advancing past the round of 16, but he started this round with
he
lots of
has
points.
The most points at any plate style track, super speedway draft.
He does.
Makes sense.
Yeah, on the
He's
season.
very good at him. Obviously, Daytona 500 champion a couple years ago. It was like the top 5, top 4, top 5 seemed like they were just locked in. And from 5th on back, 5th to like 12th, the racing was so good all day. I remember watching the first stage. I think it was Bowman and Logano, I think, were just like dicing through the field because they started in the teens and they drove up to the top 5 in the first stage. And it was so fun to watch that. The runs progressing, the guys who could wrap the bottom, because handling was crucial in this race. Obviously, we saw Larson lose it. The guys who could wrap the bottom and keep their speed in the middle of the corner and the top to get the runoff. It was super fun to watch. Unfortunately, you weren't watching guys like Denny Hamlin go through the field from last to first. It took a long time for that to work, but the guys who could do it in a little bit of time was super fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to see the progression of this track as it starts to age become its own animal.
Right, because the first time we went there, it was 2x2. You couldn't move.
Yo,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it was like, oh, this is just a really tight super speedway, and that's all it is. That has completely changed, and kudos to whoever was involved in this reconfiguration and the aggregate that they decided to use.
It's the new pavement.
It is putting on a very unique show.
whatever they use to pave this place, pave all 30 fucking tracks with it.
It's like we've seen this, 6 times now, and it's been 6 different races.
Yes, 6 times. Yep.
Wow.
It really has been. You're right.
I think it's
And I like it.
it's starting to
I have no
level
complaint.
out a little bit. It's getting more and more consistent, but it's still
I wonder if
it's a different beast.
I wonder if we'll ever get to the point. One of the shows I was listening to, they talked about this. I wonder if we'll ever get to the point where they don't come with the drafting package,
Yeah, I think
where they
it's-
come
I think
with
it's
a
gonna get
normal mile-and-a-half package.
there. I think it's going to get there, and I think the racing is going to be fine.
Yeah, agreed.
Every time we come here, it's like, why are you waiting to pave Texas? You don't need to make Texas mini Talladega,
Do it. Yeah,
but you need to repave it.
Yep.
Like the pavement at Texas is so fucking destroyed
yeah.
that they need to do something to save that
60% of the track is useless.
Yeah.
You can't go with half of it.
But this pavement, but keep the current configuration or whatever the ideas are. I
Back
think
to
some
the
people were
old way
saying
it was.
get rid of progressive banking because I think they added
Well,
progressive
no,
banking to
they fiddle fucked with 3 and 4. I think the corners are different.
They
at
changed
Texas.
the banking, and I
Yes.
think Junior's like put it back to the way it was.
because it used to be pretty much Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then they changed. I think it was 3 and 4. They made it different radius. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Darlington where it's like 2 different ends or 2
Yeah.
different corners. Put it back to the way it was, which I think it was essentially the same as Charlotte, and pave it like Atlanta.
Yeah.
You fixed Texas.
You want to add some progressive banking, whatever,
Fuck,
fine.
leave the layout alone.
mean,
I
we've
don't care.
already-
Just pave it.
We already saw Wilkesboro worked great with new pavement,
Yep.
and that I'm assuming is the new kind of
I mean, it's SMI,
technology
so
behind it.
Well, as it will wear, it will widen out, and that's a very wide track. You just can't use the wide.
you literally
'Cause
you get up
it's ice.
You get a lane up off the bottom, and it's
Ice.
over.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, anyway, Austin Cindric taking the second stage, followed by Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez, Willie B, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. still up there all day long, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, and Christopher Bell, your points getters in the second stage.
I mean, damn near the same as stage 1. Like, it didn't change that much, but the racing was really good.
yeah.
So it just proved that, like, the cars that were good and could handle were still able to make their way back into their positions.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
there was a questionable call at some point for debris caution that came out of nowhere. But other than that, the 2 yellow line violations, I think the Suarez one was in stage 2.
Yeah.
Suarez goes down to pass Logano, and Logano kind of just chased him all the way down. And Suarez chose to be the nice guy and not turn him, which we've seen. I think Junior talks about him and Brian Vickers. Is Brian Vickers tried to push him underneath the yellow line at Talladega one time, and Junior said, "Nope, I go to the yellow line, I stop.
Yeah.
And if you're going to keep pulling down, you're going to wreck yourself off my nose." Suarez kind of gave the 22 a break, but still passed him. And that's brought up a lot of conversation because they reviewed it. They're like, oh, yep, Suarez was forced below the yellow line, so there's no penalty.
but that should have been a penalty to Joey Logano if he forced him below the yellow line.
Like it was to Justin Haley.
That's what it used to be. Yeah,
Because
Justin Haley.
they got JH with it later in the race. The exact
No,
same.
earlier.
No, I thought Justin Haley's was after.
No.
Justin Haley and
Haley was like
in Reddick.
150.
Oh, I thought that was after.
I could have sworn that Suarez's was in the beginning of the third stage.
I thought it was early.
You might
Either
be
way.
right. It doesn't matter.
They penalized one and didn't penalize the other.
For the exact same
The
thing.
only difference is Justin Haley blocked Tyler Reddick down to the apron, but Justin Haley crossed the WO line, the red and white line on the apron of his own accord to block.
Right.
Even though if you look at it, he blocks the 45 hits him, and he kind of pushes him and gets his car squirrely, and that's what causes him to go below the yellow line. But whatever. They penalized one incident and didn't penalize the other one. If a car goes below the yellow line, you either penalize the car for doing that or you penalize the car for forcing him to do it.
Yeah.
And NASCAR made a no call, which was kind of goofy. Seemed like that's one of those situations where it's like it's cut and dry. There's one person who's the aggressor. There's one person who's the defender. You gotta penalize one of them.
Yep. But they're not going to do it to a playoff driver.
Apparently not.
So anyway, we don't get too far into stage 2 when we have John Hunter Nemechek go for a Spinaruski all by his onesies, bringing out a caution
Literally just spun out.
Just lost it. And then we get probably another 20, 30 laps later when we have the Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex incident.
Another situation where a driver gets loose all on their own. Chris Buescher, just unfortunately for the 12 and the 19, kind of corrected up the hill into them.
Snapped just like Larson's did for the most part.
Blaney, I mean, his car was blessed by the racing gods because he hit every corner of that car in every corner that doesn't matter.
Right.
Like everywhere his car hit, if it was 2 inches different, it would have been a race ruiner.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hit in the left rear, somehow doesn't hit the left rear tire, doesn't damage the suspension, causes him to now tank slap the wall with the right side, somehow hits the right rear, no suspension damage. He comes now down to the track naturally into the 19, who hits him dead in the side, hits him in the door, doesn't hit the suspension, no damage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is just, dude, play the lottery tomorrow.
I'm assuming you're referencing what Corey had said.
Blaney, it's just literally just like, where are the 4 most who gives a fuck parts of the car?
He hit every one of them.
Yeah. And following that, getting back to green, we have a really good battle for the lead. We got Gibbs up there, Kyle Busch up there, Willie B, Suarez. We're watching a really good battle, and it's some great racing. And then full screen advertisement by Walmart.
Corey said it. Corey said it best on his podcast. He was going full conspiracy theory this week. He said it's probably Marcus Smith sitting up in one of the suites with one of those buttons that just. We need something interesting to happen. Sign falls off.
That was good racing, though. It wasn't boring at all.
No.
And quite frankly, the caution pissed me off. I was like, come on.
I was happy because I thought we were about to see a Ty Gibbs win because he held all the cards. He had enough fuel. He could make everybody run out of fuel.
Yeah.
People were trying to save. He didn't have to save. It was written. I mean, he was pretty much going to run away with it, most likely.
The weird part about this caution is there were 2 debris cautions today. One was earlier in the race. One was this one. They both fell like right before we would have possibly seen having to have green flag pit stops, which if you've seen the reconfiguration of this track, pit road is fucking broken.
Yep.
Because of the aggressive banking coming off of turn 4, they don't want cars exiting the track onto pit road off of turn 4. So you have to enter at the entrance of turn 3, which you lose like almost a lap and a half when you do that because you have to go 90 miles an hour along the apron and 45 miles an hour on pit road.
Didn't the spring race, isn't that where like Byron and McDowell
Byron
wrecked?
in the 54, I think.
Was
I think it was Ty Gibbs wrecked right at the entrance of it. And they're just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
So the first one was like a random piece of metal in the front stretch, which I've seen a lot of next-gen cars. What on that car is metal?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing
True.
that could fall off.
True.
Because that car is entirely carbon fibre. So
Carbon fibre.
Carbon fibre, dude. Fibre. And then this one was the Walmart sign, which was seemed like just a stupid thing to do in the first place, is you put a paper sign above a racetrack.
Yeah.
Bianchi,
Cars going
Bianchi's-
by it at 180 miles an
Bianchi
hour.
said it best. He goes, "What does Walmart sell? Zip ties. Use them. Use them
Right.
next time." And then they went around. I loved how they went around and took the rest of them down.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, they're
in-
ripping
just
them all
in
off.
case. They had the guy who was like standing on the roof of the track truck, and he was like, rip.
Right. This is like at the Rollville when they're just like double side taping these
Yeah.
foam signs to the wall.
Yep.
Which that section's not even there anymore.
Yep.
It was just kind of stupid. But unfortunately, I mean, good TV would have been green flag pitting at any situation.
Yeah.
But they kind of saved themselves from having to do that a couple times. But yeah.
We got a restart after that. Some 3-wide battling, which we should not see 3-wide
I
there,
thought-
but they made it work. But
There
it
was
was
4
awesome.
wide. I thought the end of this race was this late restart was going to be awesome. The racing was insane. You had Suarez and Chastain were up there. They were mixing it up back and forth, and then Noah gets spit out of the middle.
Yep. Noah gets spit out from mid-teens after getting into it with Harrison Burton, bringing out a caution, forcing an overtime restart. Not a crazy overtime restart, I suppose.
No, it was a blessing for a couple guys.
Yeah.
Bowman and Cindric, both guys who needed points, had great stages, kind of lost a lot of track position there at the end. They were both able to recover because of these green-white checkers. Very unfortunate for about 90% of the back of the pack because the green-white checker killed them.
Yep.
Very unfortunate for a couple guys in the front as well.
I didn't see what caused that. Was that when Chastain got up in the
So
wall? Or?
basically, he sailed off into, was that 3?
Into 3.
Or no.
It
Yeah.
was in a 3.
Sailed off into 3 trying to push Suarez, and he just lost the front end. Went up the track, checked up. It almost looked like he was out of gas. Like when I was watching it live, I was like, holy shit, is he out of gas? Like he just fell off the back of Suarez, and now he's got Chase behind him, Bubba's behind Chase, and Stenhouse is behind Bubba, and they're all locked together, pushing each other. Chastain's going 10 miles an hour slower. They all shove into him, gets him out of shape. He goes up in the fence. I think they said it on Stacking Pennies that the 47 just never lifted and went through Bubba. So he spun Bubba out, and then it just caused a fucking melee back
Yeah,
there.
because Ross gets sent up into the wall, tries to do the watermelon wall ride in reverse. And then Bubba kind of just has no choice and just naturally fades up into him because they were kind of egg-shaped in the corners to begin with, plus the 47 taking all the air off the rear of his car.
Yep.
Bubba had nowhere to go, unfortunately, piles into Ross. He turns. A bunch of people in the back decide to no lift through it as well.
Yep.
And kind of mayhem.
I mean, we got a bunch of guys that were bunch of playoff guys that were gonna finish the race, not have great finishes, but at least finish. I mean, Harrison Burton had to limp it across the line. Denny got involved, which that's a whole nother story. Him just hanging out in the back all day.
Yep.
I think he was hoping this was going to turn into the Atlanta races we've seen, where it's been crazy and attrition and all that, and he would naturally work his way up.
Cars because they have to pit for damage.
And it didn't happen, so he got 0 stage points and then gets wrecked coming to the checker and doesn't, ends up 24th.
Yeah.
Harrison was in it. Who else was in it? I think I saw a thing that 13 out of the 16
Harrison,
playoff guys were involved.
Oh, Cody Ware was in it. Gilliland, BJ,
Bubba,
Barry.
Ross, obviously.
Yeah, Bubba and Ross. Yeah.
Everybody stacked up. But Mr. Joey Logano does take the checkered flag, followed by Daniel Suarez, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, your top 5. Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Austin Cindric, your points getters in the race. So, taking a look at the playoff cut line, we are looking at Chase Briscoe, 21 points out, sitting in 16th after that early wreck. Not terrible.
Yeah,
He's
21
not.
points out.
That's
not bad.
One of the things I was listening to today, they were trying to spin it that Briscoe's at a must-win. I'm like, dude, Bubba
Not
made
even
up.
close.
I'm looking at Darlington. Bubba made up like 25 points in the first 2 stages. Like 20 points is doable. If someone has a shit day, someone in the above the cutoff line has a really bad day. Like let's say Denny goes out and does what happened at Sonoma, blows a motor 10 laps into the race. Briscoe's going to make up a shitload of points,
Right. All Briscoe needs to do after that is get a top 20.
and he's
to time
good
them.
at road courses.
Yeah.
So
Truex is 19 points below the cut line in 15th.
he is in trouble because he has
Not shown up.
just 0 momentum. Like
Yeah, he's almost in a must-win just because you don't think he can average his way in.
this is a repeat of last year, but worse, or not as bad. I think last year was worse because he didn't win the regular season last year and then just disappeared. No, that was
just tanked.
No,
Yeah.
last year was the year he missed in second in points.
No, I thought that was 2 years ago.
I thought that was last year.
No, that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, but same thing as last year. Like start off the season unbelievably strong. There's talks of him making it to the championship 4, and then somewhere in July, August, someone just like forgets to pay the bills on the momentum machine, and they just fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Harrison Burton, 16 points below. And then we look at the cut line. Brad Keselowski currently 1 point out. Ty Gibbs currently 1 point in.
As much as I didn't want to see Ty Gibbs win that race, I do feel bad for him. I mean, he had that race won up until the sign fell. He ends up missing a block, he said, on the ensuing restart. He ended up finishing like 18th or something.
Yeah, he got shipped right.
Like, he was going to have a really good finish, and he should be 16, 17 points above the cut line, but because he just said he missed a block, he flat out, I guess he was beating himself up in the post race.
It's funny because it wasn't a crazy eventful race. I feel like the points are more crazy than they normally are.
They are.
Yep.
I agree.
We had, I feel like, way more swapping and not a lot of wrecked cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we talked about the loss of those points is going to come back to bite Denny Hamlin, we'll look at it right now. He's only 2 points up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So between the penalty and then whatever strategy they had after having to start in the back of just hanging out in the back all day, I mean, he got 0 stage points.
His strategy was so weird.
It was.
Like, Gabe Hart didn't agree with him. He was arguing with Gabe Hart over the radio.
Yeah.
It was almost like his car couldn't drive, and he was just saying that he was holding back.
I understand the strategy, if that was actually the strategy, because you think we've gone to Atlanta and it's been a shit show. I'm going to hang in the back and let everybody wreck themselves, and then I'll just make my way to the front in stage 3. Unfortunately, there were still 30 cars running in stage 3, so you're kind of porked.
And just above him, sitting in 10th place, Kyle Larson is only 15 points to the
There
good.
goes there goes your cushion. Yeah, there goes your mulligan.
Immediately.
Yeah, your
Used
mulligan
it.
is out the way.
He cannot have another
we're
bad
going
race.
to probably his best track, and then top 5 best tracks after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. But, yeah, that does it for the recap of the weekend in hot Atlanta. Let's answer some questions, shall we?
Yeah, if you're still with us in the live chat, it is now time to ask questions.
Ask away, chat, folks.
Go.
All right, we will start with the Instagram at the bottom.
Hold on. Did we want to do the DM one first or later? Because Kevin's a monster.
I'll get to it
Okay.
in the order in which it was received.
10-4.
Nathan Danforth, if you could bring on one non-NASCAR related guest, who would it be? Ooh. Non-NASCAR related guest. Tom Cruise to talk about the production of Days of Thunder.
That's kind of NASCAR related, but I'll accept that.
Dave Portnoy.
I'll allow it.
Dave Portnoy, because we'd blow up after that.
Yeah, bring him on as our
The
owner.
Hawk to a girl.
We should go on her podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk to it.
Deal.
Talk to her. What a fucking name for a podcast, by the way.
That is
I
wonderful.
saw somebody tweeted like 2 months ago when she took off. They're like, this bitch is going to stick around and she's going to start some stupid podcast, offer 5 minutes of fame. She's going to call something crazy like Talk To Her or something. And then he like reposted. He goes, I didn't know I predicted the future. I'm sorry.
Oh, Corey Scoth in the chat. Rutledge Wood. Great choice.
I mean, he's not NASCAR related anymore, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, that is tough, though. I mean, there's so many. Michael Jordan.
Great pick.
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
That dude owns
100%.
podcasts right now.
Yes, he really does.
Fair. Jet Daily. Happy anniversary, Dan. Sorry, Steph.
Thanks, buddy. I'll still never forget you pulling in the day before the wedding and getting screamed at by her father.
That's awesome.
You know our road.
Oh, yeah.
He was, her dad might have had a couple of sodas while we were getting everything together, and Jet pulled in at a completely normal pace, and Gary starts screaming at him, and that's when I yelled back at him because he had been aggravating everybody all day, and Jet's just standing there like, what did I just walk into?
Okay. Kyle Larson is a hack from Jet Daily. Oh, God. Nathan Danforth. Trivia.
Oh, boy, here we go. I haven't had one of these in a long
It's
time.
not a good one. Don't worry.
Okay.
There have been 26 drivers that have made cup starts for Joe Gibbs Racing. How many can you name?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Cup.
that.
I'd say I could probably name.
I could probably
18
name
of them.
most of them. I just don't want to do it right now.
That's-
we'll be here for an hour.
Like, there's a
Yeah.
couple randos like JJ Yaley has started
Yeah.
for him. I think Mark Martin did like a fill-in race at one point.
Maybe.
McDowell.
Dale Jarrett. Bobby Labonte.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin. Yeah, I could sit here and
Reagan Crafton, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch.
Reagan in Cup?
Crafton?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, he must have been a
Crafton did Daytona in 2015. David Reagan did the next like 6 races, and then Eric Jones. This was 2019.
2015 was that Kyle
Sorry,
Busch
2015.
broken leg year.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so they had a bunch of randos filling in for him.
Crafton, Reagan, Eric Jones, and then he took over for the rest of the year. McDowell filled in once for Kyle Busch in 2011.
Yikes.
Yeah, then what? John Hunter Nemechek, did he fill
Bobby
in
LeBon,
over
Dale
there?
Jarrett,
Tony.
Suarez, Carl Edwards,
Carl Edwards.
soon to be Chase Briscoe, Kenseth, Stewart.
Yeesh.
Yeah, a lot of them. Anyway,
Kenseth.
all right, here we
Forgot
go.
he was at JJ.
Relum Nevek, who is an absolute
Monster.
criminal. Question for the night. Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill that you got to eat once a day. Timing is your choice. A spoonful of butter, a spoonful of mayonnaise, a spoonful of yellow mustard. I am going to kill the spoonful of mayonnaise because I hate mayonnaise. I will marry the spoonful of yellow mustard because I like yellow mustard. And I guess I will fuck a spoonful of butter.
What if you equally hate two of the things?
What are the two? Yellow mustard.
Mayonnaise and mustard.
Yeah, I would definitely marry the butter.
Same. I'm marrying the butter. Easily.
I'd fuck the mayonnaise and I'd kill the mustard.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I could.
I hate mustard.
I could choke the mustard. The mayonnaise I could deal with. The mustard, I can't.
You choke
It's
down the
something-
mayonnaise?
Yeah, I reworded that so you couldn't.
Good
use
save.
it.
That was a good save.
Something about mustard, even the smell of mustard. Ugh, I
Oh,
hate it.
I'm good. I'll eat
Ugh.
mustard all day long.
yeah,
I mean, I
don't like
prefer-
mustard. Mayonnaise. Give me like that. Was it Miracle Whip?
Miracle Whip,
like
yeah.
the white mayonnaise that barely tastes like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I hate mayonnaise.
Really?
Hate mayonnaise. Well, I will eat mayonnaise if it's used as a mixture.
So like a deviled egg.
No. Nope.
No?
If it is a
like a potato
ingredients, no, I don't do potato salad. At all. I
thought I would.
don't like it at all. Like
He's like barbecue man. He doesn't do potato salad.
No, I don't.
You got sand in the potato salad.
I don't like
chewies.
thick chunks of potato.
Okay.
I like them like it home fries. Like you go to a breakfast place,
Yeah.
you get the breakfast potato home fries ones.
Yeah.
They got to be like torched.
Yeah.
I want them like with the crisp on them.
I'm with you.
I don't like
I
the
hate
chunks
the-
of mush.
Yeah, see, that's why I downvoted
Like-
Waffle House home fries.
Like steak fries, hate them. Like
See,
the thick cut steak
Yeah,
fries.
not me.
the
not
more
for me.
potato, the better.
Give me
You
the
could
stringy
give me
fries.
A bowl of baked potatoes, and I'd be like French fries.
Yeah,
Nah.
not me. But like I like mayonnaise if it's like used in chicken salad and like tuna salad. You know, you have to use that to mix it up, stuff like that. But mayonnaise like as a smear
mayonnaise-
on the bun. bleh,
Mayonnaise I can eat on like sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah, you're gross.
One thing I don't like it on is steak and cheeses. People put it on steak and cheeses, and I can't stand it.
Those people should be
Yeah.
arrested.
Brought out back and
straight
shot.
to, straight to jail.
Straight to jail. But yeah, I do the spoonful of butter, no problem. I pretty much do that every day anyway, just not in spoon form.
I mean, I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll
It's still
probably
fucking gross.
I'll probably not enjoy my life,
Yeah.
but we'll deal with it.
All right, let's keep going here. We got Corey Scothen. Hot take. Larson misses the final four. That is a hot take.
He has been so he's
It can't really be a hot take in this playoff format. Though.
it's not, and the way his year has gone, it wasn't like when he won in 21. He dominated all year long. It was like the old Larson was dead and gone, the one that used to dominate races and then crash. Dead and gone. It's a whole new Larson. This year has been so streaky where he could go out and dominate a race and win, and then the next week he puts himself in a stupid situation and wrecks.
I mean, it
Just
doesn't
like,
matter.
yeah.
It's-
Just like the old
Check as
Larson.
the records.
It's
Exactly.
already proven that Joey Logano is going to win the championship this year.
Even number year?
Yep.
Yep.
But I mean, I'd say that's a hot take if you say he doesn't make the round of 12 or even maybe the round of 8.
Yeah.
But the round of 4, I feel like that is just such a crapshoot now
Yep. I agree.
that you'll have Christopher Bell come from the fucking grandstands and win Martinsville and just shake it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fab Life 11, you're late.
We know. Two of us weren't here. Me and Kyle both got home at like the same time. Kyle texts us, I'm home at like 8 o'clock as I'm unhooking my camper. I'm like, yeah, same, me too. We just got home too.
Big same. Yeah, we were gonna leave like dumb early and get home and whatever. And I was
Well,
like,
because
you know what?
said to us last week, I'll be home in time on Monday if you guys want to. And I was like, I won't be.
Yeah, I woke up and like looked at where you were and was like, yeah, Dan's still way up there. He's not coming
I
back.
told you
I'm
we weren't.
good.
We didn't leave up north. We didn't leave the campground till I was telling Norm today because I worked with Norm today. The place we stayed at was so cheap that we actually had last night too, because campgrounds are like hotels. You have to check out at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So even though we were there we took Monday off and we're staying Monday. If we only booked Sunday night, we would have had to like pack everything up and bring it with us Monday morning, and that's not fun. You can't do anything.
No.
So we booked Tuesday night, but we left at like 5:30 Monday afternoon.
That's a good way to do it.
You know,
We I woke up. I had to make a work call at like 7:30 Monday morning, so I was up early. So I packed everything, loaded the truck, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't feel like it.
we
Took the chairs right back out. We walked down to the beach, sat on the beach for.
like I told you
Couple
last
hours.
night, we both regretted our choices because we got back from playing golf probably noon, 1 o'clock, had some lunch at the camper, and Steph was like, all right, we should probably start packing up. And then neither of us wanted to acknowledge the fact that we had to go home. So we just sat there and like talked and shot the shit. And all of a sudden it was like, wow, it's 3 o'clock. We should
settle
probably, like, we are still completely set up. Like I was even joking about, we have tonight. We could stay. Like,
Yeah.
She's like, I don't really have anything in the office till 2:30 tomorrow. And I was like, I don't give a shit about my job. I'll just call in and say I got a headache or something.
Hey, yo, fuck a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, but she was like, finally, she's like, no, we got to be good.
I was sitting in my chair on the beach, petting the dog, and I look at my watch, it was like 12:50.
Can I pet that dog?
I was like, I don't really want to make the last couple hours of this drive in the dark after doing the long weekend. I was like, let's get going.
I looked at your location at one point. You were still, I think you had just left. Like you were on the Garden State Parkway, still in Jersey. And I was like, it was shortly before, or it was actually, no, I had service. So we must have left already. Or no, it was before that. It was before when we got done playing golf, before we went back to the camper. I looked and you were still in Jersey. I was like, yeah, he ain't making it back.
Nah, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So, all right. Next one, Sam Valley 95. Should I go to Charlotte Roval or Fall, Kansas?
Charlotte Roval. Oh, next year. So Charlotte Roval because we'll be there, but that's next year.
Yeah. Haven't been to either one of them, so I can't tell you.
Fall Kansas may not be bad. I would not go to a summer Kansas race.
Yeah, yeah. Fall
You got to go
Kansas.
Roval. You got to go to the Mecca.
I'm intrigued. I'm excited to go to the Roval because it's going to be a road course that you can fucking see everything. Like that's going to be cool as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, did anything ever materialize with that deck lid? Should we be pimping that out or what?
Yeah, we'll start pimping that out next week.
Okay.
What's on? Sorry, Downriver Diecast with a couple. What's on your NASCAR bucket list? Michigan camping, Talladega
Talladega
camping,
camping, Talladega Boulevard.
Dover.
I don't know if it's bucket list. I mean,
Yeah,
I want to go, but
bucket list: Michigan camping and Talladega camping.
yeah,
Those.
Maybe like North Wilkesboro. I feel like
I'd
that'd
love
be
to go to
fun.
All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend would be
All-Star
bucket
Weekend.
list.
Yeah.
Because like Dover to me isn't bucket list because that's completely attainable.
Right.
It's the same as Pocono. It's the
Coke
same distance.
600.
Coke
I don't know
600.
if I want to sit there for
I would.
5 hours.
I'd 100% go watch a Coke 600. That's bucket list.
I'd like to do it when there's somebody's doing the double. Like next year.
Yeah.
Imagine being in the stands and like their countdown to Larson Day.
And when like the helicopter lands
Yeah.
and shit, that'd be pretty
That'd be cool, yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys ever see yourself attending NASCAR Championship weekend?
That's kind of bucket list too, but it would have to be not at Phoenix.
Not at Phoenix.
I did
I
it.
mean, you liked Phoenix.
I did it at Phoenix, and I loved it, and it was wonderful. And Phoenix is a great city.
Call me when it's in Miami.
Call me when it's in New Hampshire. That seems
Because
good.
Miami, I feel like Kyle would have a lot of fun in Miami. I feel like he's probably got some connects from his old days down there.
I do.
Welcome to
Pull
Miami.
No, but they just pull a boat up with a bunch of unmarked packages. Oh, sorry. We're getting off track here.
No, you're on track.
Don't worry, they float.
They float. It's fine. Yeah. We have to go get the packages. They're floating out in the ocean.
We got to wait for the drop, and then we got to pick them up. And the boat's ours for the rest of the weekend. We
Yeah.
just got to fuel it up.
All right. With Joey winning, what is your favorite Joey paint scheme? I always like the classic Pennzoil ones. Like
Those
Pennzoil
Pennzoil ones were good.
hasn't missed in years. Like when Harvick had the Pennzoil deal back in the day.
current Pennzoil scheme is missing. That
Yeah, you don't
weird,
like that one.
random red stripe
Yeah.
around the front wheel. I like the scallops when they were original.
Yep.
Although it wasn't originally a Joey
Scallops.
Logano scheme. Those were those spike things they
Are you
had.
just in a grammar mood tonight?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really annoying.
You did like those or didn't?
When they first came out with them, I liked
Like
them.
when Harvick had it on the 29, like that.
No, that's
that
different.
old?
That was a different scheme. I'm talking about the Penske that they
Yeah,
they
I got you now.
way overused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they eventually put it on literally every
The one they just flip flop the colors every
Yeah.
other
That scheme
week.
when
Yeah.
it first came out
That
was
looked
super
good.
original and cool.
Yep.
Harvick's Pennzoil shell scheme in the 29 will never be topped.
Iconic.
Spiky scheme. I love that scheme.
There's not that many memorable Joey schemes. I really liked the throwback that he won in Darlington when he wrecked Byron. That like
That
the
maroon
maroon
one,
and
yeah.
gold Pennzoil. That was actually really cool.
They ran that throwback red, white, and blue 22 like the year before, I think. That was super good.
I liked when he
Nothing
ran
really stands out, though.
I liked when he ran the Tony Stewart car. When he was a rookie at Gibbs, and they just had the Home Depot
Yeah,
car that
they-
hadn't changed.
But it had some like weird tribal
Yeah.
on it. I didn't love his.
No, I
liked
didn't
how
like
it
it.
had
I
a
was
lot more
joking.
white in it, though.
Oh, I liked this one way back in the day.
Put it on the screen.
That one.
That one wasn't
Well, that
bad.
was. Did he even race that?
Yeah, because it had like this one.
Yeah, that was a throwback to Kevin
Yeah, the Harvick one.
Yep.
I
I didn't know
I guess
he
that's-
actually officially raced that.
The all yellow Pennzoil is that's good. Oh, that red, white, and yeah, the red, white, and blue
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
three
that
piece
one.
suit one.
AMX or AMC throwback.
Yeah,
that one
that's
was
one of
sick.
that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That 22. Ooh.
What is that? I don't.
The-
Oh, I
the
do remember
Dale
that
Jarrett
car.
Throwback or whatever that is.
So all of Joey's good paint schemes were not his paint
We're
schemes.
throwbacks,
throwbacks.
essentially.
Because then there's
fair
that
enough.
one on the bottom right was also good.
So Joey doesn't have good paint schemes unless he replicates somebody else's paint schemes, apparently.
Pretty much.
A Terry shell scheme?
I think so. Yeah.
Terry then?
Nathan Danforth, what is one thing you've done that you think everyone should experience?
In the bedroom?
All right, Denny. One thing I've done that everyone should experience: hot air balloon.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm no, not anymore.
no,
not
no,
anymore.
no.
Not anymore.
If we're going on that, whitewater rafting is probably one of the
Definitely.
funnest things I've ever done. My niece just went a couple weeks ago, and I was like, fuck, I kind of
Yeah, I took a hot air balloon ride
never
in
done
the
either of
desert
those.
in Sedona.
Oh, that'd be sick.
It was unbelievable.
I
That
bet
would
it'd be
be
cool,
sick.
but at the same time, that's one of those things that's like so uncomfortable for me.
Really?
Like sit in this wicker basket and no one's in control.
Oh no, like the baskets are nipple height. Like,
No, but I get
they're
what he's saying,
tall.
though. Like, there was one year we were at Wolfsgart, and a hot air balloon landed in the camping field with us because they're like, we ran out of fuel. This
Yeah.
is just where we drifted.
poor-
They're like, this is
poor
just
planning.
where we drifted.
I would rather go on like the Goodyear blimp.
That'd be cool.
That's cool.
Have I experienced that everyone should?
I haven't done that much cool shit.
If you're a car guy, go to Tail of the Dragon in Tennessee. It is, I can't even describe how much fun it is to go 35 miles an hour on that road. You feel like you're flying. That road is an absolute blast.
It's a good one. That's a very good one.
I
Going
ran
across-
from the cops once, which was a huge adrenaline rush that I really enjoyed.
I actually did once too.
on foot.
on-
and it was they
on
were
foot
like,
or in a car?
They were rental
Oh,
cars.
mine was in a car.
I've done both.
I didn't run. It was more that I was dumb leaving a hangout and I saw the cop turn around. So I dipped down like 3 alleyways and then parked in a condo parking lot and shut the lights off and then watched the cop look around for 20 minutes.
Nice move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just dipped into like an apartment building
Toretto,
parking lot.
stop right there.
I did that running from the cops in my GTI, and I had to stop over a speed bump and let my friends out because we were 4 deep in my GTI. So I had to stop.
When low cars are inconvenient.
Let them all out so I can get over the speed bump to hide in a condo complex
Yeah.
off the main
Oh, yeah. I
road.
hid in the condo complex and I remember sitting in my car and I watched the cop drive around in circles for 20 minutes looking. He never came in the parking lot, thank God. But he just drove around the area for like 20
Dude,
minutes. I was
on-
like, when do I don't even know when to leave. I'm terrified.
I was on my winter wheels that I had painted pink camouflage. They looked sick.
That'll stand out.
But I was about to drive to Home Depot to spray paint them in the parking lot because I was like, can't hide.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say if you're a car guy, Tail of the Dragon, that's fun. I mean, even just experience-wise, going a cross-country road trip with your dad, that was fucking cool. I've done it twice. To go get a cool old car.
I like it.
I did a week-long canoe trip one time.
Those are
That
fun.
was super sick.
I've done a couple of those. Those are fun.
Yep.
L98 Jake, gotta love a good streak, and with Bush showing the consistency, I think he's gonna.
I
Probably
hope
win.
he does.
Yeah, I mean, top
Yeah.
6 in the past like 6 races or something.
Ever
crazy.
since the whole
4 races.
Austin Dillon thing, that 8 car has been flying.
Yeah, after the Olympic break, they showed up with some speed.
Seriously. So I would not be surprised if he gets something somewhere. I hope he does because, again, like I said last week, big fan of like those historical streaks like Iron Man streaks.
I mean,
and
we
stuff.
were all polling for him. What was that, 2019, 2020?
when he won the Texas Wednesday race.
Yeah. All right. Downriver Diecast just got done watching the 03 Cup season. What season should I watch next? You guys pick.
Ooh.
Watch the whole season. Where'd you find the whole season?
Probably NASCAR Classics.
You know what I'd
I
probably
don't think
enjoy?
they have full seasons, do they?
Was 93 Jeff Gordon's rookie year?
No, 94.
94?
93 was when he made his first start at Atlanta at the last race of the year, because that was the
Richard Petty's final race.
Petty's final race, Gordon's first race, and that was the Bill Elliott, Davey Allison, Alan Kowicki three-way championship. Alan Kowicki ended up winning it.
Yep.
And then Gordon's first full time was 94.
I would honestly, 94, the rise of Jeff Gordon.
And the
I
last
feel like
Dale
watching
Earnhardt
that would be
championship.
sick.
The last Earnhardt championship. I mean, 95 would be more, that would be the coming of age of Gordon, because that was his first championship. I mean, in 94, I think he only won the Coke 600. Oh, and the Brickyard. He won
the Brickyard.
He won the first
Inaugural
Brickyard.
Brickyard.
That was and he won the 600 that year.
But
But
just
95 was when he really, that was when the dominance started to come
just
out.
watching it and then being like, and this new kid, Jeff Gordon.
What was it? Was it 97 when he won 14 fucking races? It was one of the
Must have been
championships. I think it was
97,
97. I don't think it was 99. I think it was 97.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Ugh.
And last but not least on the Instagram, Mr. Korskothan asked what racetrack Bodie took dump on this weekend, and none, just a boardwalk.
Oh, yeah?
Anything?
Little steamer right on the boardwalk?
It was kind of off to the side. We found the only grass patch. The problem with where we stayed, we were right in the thick of everything, which was great because we could walk to everyone's hotel and hang
Nowhere to
out with
walk the
everyone.
dog.
There was no grass for 3 blocks.
So you guys have seen it with Pocono. Frankie is great. He does not care if he's got to pee or take a shit. He's good. He's going to do it. Rocco is so goddamn particular. He struggles to do it on a leash. And when we're at home, he goes in the woods. You can't see me.
Yeah.
So when we're at a place like Pocono, it's miserable because you're like, dude, there's nowhere. Just shit somewhere.
Just let it
please.
go.
And they got us both on the hike this weekend because it was a trail we'd never done before, and the parking lot seemed kind of packed. And sometimes people frown upon just letting the dogs free, even though we have them on their collars and stuff. So for the first little bit, we had them on leashes. 20 seconds before I was about to say, hey, let's let them off the leash, they both took shits right on the trail. So it's great, now we have to pick them up.
Nice.
Because normally when
They gotta carry 'em.
when they're running around, they yeet off into the woods, and you're like, I'm going to let nature take care of that. But when it's on the fucking trail, you're like,
Got to do that.
God damn it. So Steph had to she tied both poop bags to her backpack. And apparently poop bags are not airtight because we smelled shit the entire hike.
Yeah, we're going to time better.
Oh,
Or
no,
get better
no.
bags.
They were tied tight. You could just, I think,
Aren't those bags biodegradable? Can't you just hum them in the woods?
that's what I wanted to do, but she wouldn't let me.
I
No,
feel like
And they're not biodegradable.
they're not.
they should be, and then you just hum them into the woods. Then they're just not in people's way.
No, I wish they were. Be better
No,
off
that
just to
works.
leave the shit there.
Yeah, I think I would have hummed them.
That's all I got for the Instagram. We got any in the chat?
There's a couple two tree on the YouTubes from Mr. Brent Newton.
Okay.
Brent Newton. In the next few weeks, how many non-playoff drivers will win? say we probably
Next
have,
few weeks.
I'd say we have 3 before the end of the season.
I would say they got a couple in us. I mean, what was it? Was it last year we had the first round was all non-playoff
I
drivers?
think it's going to be Kyle. Yeah. I think it's going to be Kyle Busch be the first one to pop
Busch
one
is
off.
going to win at some intermediate,
Kansas,
and then we'll
Vegas.
have AJ or SVG will win at the Roval.
Dude, if we're there for an
And then I
SVG
could-
win, I'll lose my
I could-
bananas.
Totally picture a rando winning at Martinsville. Ryan Preece hits a home run qualifying lap again, and then
Maybe
he steals a
And
race
then
or
you,
something like
also
that.
we have Talladega.
Yep.
We still got Dega to get through.
Talladega.
I think we could see 3 or 4 by the end of the season.
Yeah,
And then
not
Mr.
unrealistic.
Brent Newton again. Keep in mind, he is from New Zealand. Do you expect SVG to make the Final Four in the Xfinity Series?
Expect? No. Would I be surprised by? No.
I agree with that assessment.
Yeah, I don't think he does, but I think
He has been
packs
running-
a punch in the round of 8.
He's been running so strong. Even in Atlanta this week, he was farting around the back half of the top 10 before. I think he had a tire go down or something.
Yeah, when
towards
he wall
the
up to
end.
the side of
have
the wall.
a super good week this week. Darlington, obviously, he showed up at Darlington.
He's showing up where no one thought he would show up. So I could see him making some noise. And then,
I don't know how far into the playoffs you can go top 10ing them to death, but I see the Roval, for instance.
If he gets to the round of 8,
win in the round of 8,
yeah,
or the round of 12,
if
he's
he
in.
makes it to the round of 8, I could easily see him winning the Roval and making it to the Final Four.
True.
It's just going to be tough because you got to think you have Cole Custer, Chandler Smith, Allgaier, these guys that are every single week in the top 3.
You also have to keep in mind that SVG has 17 points going into the playoffs.
He's got a good amount of points already. Yeah.
So he might be okay in that first round.
If he just has a solid first round.
Their first round has the Roval in it.
Ah, shit.
So he's probably in pretty good shape
He's in
to
the
at
round of
least make the
8.
round
I
of
think he
8.
makes the round of 8. Yeah.
Is Talladega on the round of 8 in the Xfinity Series?
No, Talladega's in the round of 12 because it's in the same round of 12. Their round is the same as ours. We just have a round of 16. They
I
don't.
don't know where all the races
So
are.
what's the round of 12 for them?
Everything matches.
I know, but I don't remember what they are.
Kansas, Dega, Roval.
I don't expect him to maybe like a 14th place at Kansas.
He's been
Roval,
doing pretty good
he's
at
going
super
to be top
speedways.
3, probably get stage points.
Yeah.
And then Talladega, he could,
Or he could get
but
smoked.
I see him keeping up at these plate tracks and super speedways, but he's not aggressive.
I think
Like
he's getting
doesn't-
more aggressive.
Yeah, he
though.
doesn't make the I'm going to start my own lane or
Yeah.
I'm going to like block this guy. He
And then
kind of
what's
just
the-
goes with the flow and it ends well for
What's
him.
the round of 8? You got Vegas.
Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville.
I could see him doing good at. I mean, he's
Homestead?
definitely going to be good at Martinsville. Homestead, I could see him. I mean, he seems to. He took to Darlington having to run the wall like
I'm
really
waiting
well.
for him to like perfect ripping the wall, which I think will probably happen in like
Yeah.
4 or 5 minutes.
Problem is,
Because that's how fast he learns, which is terrifying.
Yep.
Once he gets that down, he's going to be a problem.
this
gonna
is
be
going to be
yeah.
his first time to Homestead.
Yep.
And I think the closest thing you can compare this to is what? Michigan? And he was dog ass at Michigan.
Maybe.
So,
But he
you
also.
never
Is,
know.
but I know Darlington's a completely different track. But he wasn't afraid to rip the fence at Darlington.
Yeah.
So
But this was his second showing, but he was very good at Darlington the
he
first time
was.
too.
Yep.
So I mean it's
I could see
the
it.
Lord knows, you know.
I'm with Kyle. I don't expect it, but I also wouldn't be shocked.
Wouldn't be surprised. at
I
all.
will be the first one to cheer for him to do it.
100%.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
Brent's last question.
Speaking of which, I had a guy in the grocery store the other day get hyped about my SVG shirt. That's how big.
Heck yeah.
That's
They're
awesome.
like the guy behind
In
the
New
deli-
Hampshire, too.
Yeah, the guy behind the deli counter was like, "Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen shirt. That's sick." And
He's
I'm like,
nor wide. I love Shane Van Gisbergen.
he might have been excited that it was.
That was better.
He may have been excited that it was the Back to the Future font because he did say something about that. But he also said, like, I don't remember if he said his whole name or if he said SVG. I don't remember. But he's like, "Oh, that's sick," and I was like, "What the fuck?"
He's like, that shirt is super very good.
Yeah.
Brent's last question. I don't know if I can answer this. Kyle, I don't know if you can answer this, but please do. Is the merch available to be shipped to New Zealand at a reasonable price, or am I dreaming?
At a reasonable price, probably not. I
feel like a
am
site
currently
like Shop.
working on multiple different shipping options for other countries. I am kind of comparing and contrasting available options to do so because I know we have like Ronan and our friends over there.
I think we have 3 international listeners: Jet, Ronan, and Blanca.
We've also got we got an email from somebody. I forget who I talked to. I replied to them asking about Canada shipping. That is pretty easy to set up.
We
I'm
have
already
more than one
working on
Canadian.
that.
Nice, Jet. You're not alone.
And yeah, so working on that. New Zealand, I'll try. Or
We're
we could
close
just
enough. We might just have to like ship it to ourselves.
yeah, that's probably the better
Like
option.
buy it, ship it to us, and then we ship it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
But that is it for YouTube. Not too many questions. in
Snapchat from old Jay Hulso. He's watching us on the treadmill.
All right,
Proud of you, buddy.
get them steps in, bruh.
I think it was
tell
a
you,
treadmill. I don't
we're
know what
not
it
on a
was, but it was a workout machine of some kind.
Was
It's one of
running
those
on
old,
empty.
It's one of those old school ones. It's just
Oh,
like the
a
belt
Sibian
that goes
machine?
across. It just jiggles.
Can you do that again?
Nope.
Can you pull up the shirt and do it next time?
Nope. I will not truffle shuffle for you. Only in private.
Okay, shut the camera off. Shut the camera off. Shut the camera off.
After that, I heard rumblings that they have approved a Goonies sequel. With,
Yeah, well, they
They
with the
shouldn't do
cast
that.
old.
that's okay because they just announced that they are. Well, it's already been going on, but Netflix fully announced that they are already filming Happy Gilmore 2.
Yep,
They
Yeah, the
posted
casting.
today. They posted. No, the casting was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw the video of how long that line
They
was.
posted today a picture of the Bruins jersey, and it said Adam Sandler on the tag, like
Yeah,
it was
that-
in like
I think-
wardrobe.
Oh
They
yeah,
posted that a couple days ago. They officially announced today that the actor who plays Shooter McGavin and the actress who plays his love interest, I forget her name right now, Jodie
The original
Bowen?
girl.
Yeah, she confirmed she's returning.
Let's go. Oh,
Well, she was just in his other movie,
Yeah.
Hubby Halloween. So obviously they're still homies.
Yep.
Chris
but that's
He was
McDonald.
exciting.
on. He was on. You know the Kelsey brothers, football guys.
Mm-hmm.
He was on their podcast a couple weeks ago. Holy shit, he is so goddamn funny.
Yeah,
His dog's name is Bagel. They're like, "Is your dog named Bagel?" Because he's like the dog's barking, and he's like, "Bagel." And Jason Kelsey's like, "Did you just say bagel?" And Adam's like, "Yeah, we've had a lot of these bulldogs. We've had a matzo ball, a meatball, and now we got a bagel.
Meatball was like his OG dog.
Yeah,
back
he's
in
like, now we got a
SNL days.
bagel, and he flips him up in front of the camera, and it's just this big fat bulldog, just like, hi.
That's awesome.
I love Adam Sandler to death.
I think Travis
will-
Kelce is in. He's
Yeah,
because they were
he's
talking
cameoing
about him being in Happy.
They're gonna
Gilmore,
do
too.
a celebrity game,
Yeah.
just like the Bob Barker
Yeah.
thing. I'm sure in the second one. I just pray that it's not Adam Sandler in fucking basketball shorts, long socks, and basketball shoes, walk around and be like, "I'm Happy Gilmore." It's like, no, you're Adam Sandler.
I think
Go
he
into the character a
knows.
little
I
bit.
think he knows how important this movie is. That an entire generation grew up on it. He ain't gonna fuck it up.
No, he won't. That was your Adam Sandler minute.
Sorry, we love him because he grew up in our town. I ran into him at Red Arrow once on July 4th
They also,
weekend.
I ran into him at Half Baked. I forget the name of that.
And it was so funny because we're at the diner, like that 24-hour diner in Manchester that's been there since the 20s. July 4th weekend, place is packed. Adam Sandler's sitting there eating with his family. No one's bothering him. He's just another dude. Like, complete, no one's like asking him for autographs or anything. Like, he's just hanging out.
Yeah, that weekend, I think he went to every Red Arrow diner that's ever existed.
Yes.
And we saw him at a douchey breakfast place in Manchester.
Yep.
It was that same weekend, and he wore the same outfit every day. Because Red Arrow's like, he's at the Red Arrow Manchester. He's at the Red Arrow Milford.
Yeah,
he's at the Red Arrow Airport
I love
diner.
how rich he is, and he's just like, scumbag. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love Adam Sandler. They also announced today that they are officially casting for the new HBO Harry Potter show.
Oh, boy.
So I'm hyped.
All right, we're gonna wrap
is the
this
Norm's
up now.
movie minute. Norm's entertainment
Now this
minute.
is the Adam Sandler we ran into a minute and Norm's entertainment minute. We're gonna wrap things up
You
here.
got somewhere to be?
Yeah, not listening to you guys talk about Adam Sandler run-ins
He's
from
gonna go
20
home
years
and watch
ago.
Fire Country, I think.
He's going to go home and watch Happy Gilmore.
I may not have saved it on my phone just to check it out and make fun
He's
of
gonna
you
go home
for it.
He's going to go home and watch
Norm,
the-
I watched all 3 seasons. You're an idiot.
I'm gonna, Kyle's
Only
going to go
2
home and watch
seasons.
the
Third
Billy
season comes out in
Madison.
October. Can't wait.
Perfect.
Kyle's going to go home and watch the Billy Madison, Chris Farley scene.
If I didn't want to watch, that's correct.
That's correct.
If I didn't want to watch it, what would I find it on?
First season's on Netflix or Paramount Plus.
There you go,
I think
people.
season 2 is on Paramount
All right,
Plus.
before we sign off, head over to loosesfast.myshopify.com. Get yourself some merch.
If you want, Norm has posted the link in the Discord. I think we posted. You don't know if you posted on Instagram, did you?
I have not posted on
Can you
Instagram.
add it to your...
I have to add it to the link tree. I haven't gotten
OnlyFans
around to it
We
yet.
will make a post on the Instagram
I
with
posted on
instructions.
Twitter a couple days ago, and I haven't posted anything all weekend, so it should be towards the top.
Yeah, just pin it.
Because I'm going to pin it. Yeah,
Yeah,
normally
if you are in our Discord, it is pinned in the merch chat, and I believe it is pinned in off track as well. But go over to the merch chat,
Yep.
click the pinned chat things, whatever. It's right there. Follow us on everything.
at loosesfast_pod on Twitter and Instagram, and the Loosest Fast podcast on YouTube. Even if you don't watch us, just go fucking subscribe because we like seeing numbers.
Yeah.
Bucks
Oh,
for the
and we've
boys.
also forgotten Bucks for the Boys. Go leave us goddamn reviews. We haven't had an Apple review in months.
Yeah,
Go
do
leave
that.
us some reviews. Please, we love you.
I'm Kyle Belcher,
I'm Dan Walker.
Norm Pelletier.
and we'll catch you next week.
Later.
At the Glen.